Well, apparently everyone enjoyed yesterday's show. I don't remember a lot of it, but
There were requests for you on the internet to get a colonoscopy every day.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I don't know that I was really out of it. I had a pretty full day after that. I was pretty energized. I kept saying, said to my wife, I said, man, I feel really, good. She said, well, it's probably because you've had this cleanse, this total cleanse. And I thought, yeah, I guess that's it. Because I went out, I exercised all afternoon and went to bed like at 11 o'clock. I'd gotten up early. I was up all night with it's not that horrifying, explosive stuff they used to. They used to make you drink 2 liters of Go Lightly.
It's called
that's
Go Lightly.
Yeah, that's like you're about to go to a prize fight, and they call the prize fight, Tap Sweetly. Tonight I'm going to be in a Tap Sweetly event. And then, you get punched in the nose. Yeah, Mike Tyson comes out and beats the shit out of you. Yeah. Go Lightly. And it was explosive. And it was, and they give you all sorts of pills to, because your stomach's going to hurt and all that. They don't do that anymore. And so it was, not pleasant, but it wasn't the worst. I watched, I didn't want to pay for anything because I thought I'd fall asleep. So I watched on HBO the story of the traveling pants. What is that movie? What is that?
The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
I really enjoyed it.
Oh, me too. I love that.
And America Ferrara.
Uh-huh.
Here's what I loved about this movie. And Garrett, you need to go out of your way to watch it.
You do.
I'm busy.
The pants are huge, Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
The pants are huge. And they fit America Ferrara, who is at her, Zoptic best. Mm-hmm. She is a huge and terrific actress, by the way. Really good. And Bradford, what's his name? Bradford Whitman? Bradford.
Whitford.
Is it? No, it's Bradford.
It's Bradley Whitford.
He's the whitest guy you've ever seen. Whitest guy you've ever seen. And apparently, in his younger days, he married a Puerto Rican woman. And they have this, well-endowed, large, young woman. But she has not an ounce of anything in her that looks like she has any, Anglo blood in her. And so he's this little, skinny, white guy. And you're looking at it going, okay, but I mean, hire a guy that maybe at least has dark hair or something that,
like Jay
could have
Thomas.
married. Yeah, but a guy, they're not putting me in any movies. But the thing is, and then he was with Nancy Travis, who's a very nice person and all, but looks, works out all the time and trying to look younger than her years and all that. And she's got muscles and she's the typical white person. And he's marrying her. And then the overweight Puerto Rican girl comes to visit him. And she's got these big pants. And she and her girlfriends make a deal that they'll send the pants to each other all summer. There's a really adorable girl.
I love that you're talking about.
Really adorable girl who's Greek. And she's petite. Garrett, she's really petite. And then there's this tall, and then, you know who I became a fan of? Blake Lively.
Yes.
She's almost, lesbian-ish.
This is my favorite show.
She's almost lesbian-ish in her, and she's, and I love kind of masculine women.
She's married to your friend Ryan Reynolds.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, she is.
Wow. He's the one that I said to when he was married to Scarlett Johansson. Yes. I'm doing a play with him, and I said, "Hey, Ryan, I know your wife. I met her, in New Orleans a few years ago." He goes, "No, that's impossible." I said, "What do you mean? She's never been to New Orleans. She was there with Josh Hartnett. Yeah, she did Josh Hartnett, and she was sitting on women's laps and smoking cigarettes and drinking, and we were, together the whole evening with Rodney Lee Conover. And then he said to me, there are a lot of things I'm finding out about my wife that I didn't know. Oh, yeah, it was bad. See you later, alligator. And she's becoming more mannish as she gets older, but I like her. So, and then Blake Lively is this great soccer player, right? And she can't wait to bang this guy that's a coach, really good. And so then there is another girl that has to stay home, right? And works in her local town. and a fabulous little actress named Jenna Boyd, who has leukemia in the movie. So there's that sad thing, right? Well, I'm looking at these pants. Well, let's go back to the beginning. They fit America Ferrara. All right, think about it, Garrett.
All right.
They fit her. And think about her before she and her agents and her managers are trying to make her into some sex symbol. Poor darling must be, she must have had more, straps put on her stomach than you put on a suitcase when you're flying overseas, So, they're trying to, she's supposed to be thin and all this, but she's not. She's just her, right? And they also fit perfectly. Blake Lively, the lovely Greek girl, and the other girl that stays home. As I'm looking at the movie, I stop it. I stop it in Greece. I look at it, and I go, look how little her head is, the Greek actress, and look how little her body is, and I move it very slowly. Her fucking ass is huge. So they hired, they hired 3 actresses who could fit into huge jeans. And I had to stop it for a minute because I was into the story, and it was a love story. I like it. And I have to stop the whole fucking thing and start laughing. It's like, Garrett, you and I could have been in the movie. That's how big their asses were, okay? We would have fit into these jeans, okay? And that, to me, was the greatest part of it because they don't mention it.
Yes, they do. She says these are never going to fit me, but that's the whole magic of the jeans is that they wind up fitting everybody. But you can't wash them because jeans stretch.
No, look, I tell you what, it really is. It's a sweet movie. Watch it with your girlfriend, Garrett, and you might get laid.
What are you, crazy? He's not going to watch it. Garrett's really good, though.
It really is. I tell you what I found out years ago. If enough people like something, and you watch it, you kind of go, wow, I made fun of this. I thought it was terrible. And then you watch it. It's not true of Duck Dynasty for whatever reason. I don't know what that's about, and I can't figure it out. Honey Boo Boo, I can kind of figure out. The other one that I knew was really good at one time, but is really terrible now, is the one with the, it's on ABC, Modern Family. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it started great. But that is one of the most unfunny shows on television.
Modern Family. It did take it's
the last 3 seasons.
It's different now.
Stinks.
It's still fun, but it's different.
I stopped.
No, you're right. It stinks. It is awful. And I watched a few episodes.
They must have lost writers because the jokes aren't there anymore.
I just get so invested in characters that I can't give up. Like I didn't give up on The Office either. I don't know. I just can't give up.
Here's what happens. And I think it happened on Murphy Brown. Murphy Brown was a hit TV show. And when I would watch it, and before I got on it, I would go, they're all yelling. They're all like, they're acting like this. Oh, well, like that. And what happens is when a show Cheers did not do this, and I tell you why. and a lot of shows don't do it because the actors don't want to go over the top. You get so famous and the show is so big that when you walk out on the stage or when you're out in the street, people are going berserk over you. And no matter what you do, no matter how you act, they absolutely love you. And especially with the sitcoms that have live audiences. And if they're a hit show. And I think it happened to The Big Bang Theory, which I like very much, but, it got really stupid after a while also. And I think HBO in England and all these places where you just have 10 or 12 episodes, it works better. I found The Office to be the worst piece of shit ever except for the English version, right? And because they made it into a sitcom, whereas the English version was kind of real, kind of interesting. I think that the fact that Gervais did 10 episodes and is a billionaire is unbelievable. He did 10 episodes of a show. It's all over the world, and he's a billionaire. It's unbelievable. So
he's done like 6 other shows.
Yeah, but he's a billionaire from The Office. It's in Poland, Russia, Japan. It's everywhere.
Syndication from it.
Oh, no. Each country.
That's what I mean, not the syndication, but the copying of it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to Japan. Wow. Yeah, and they don't call it the office. They call it, the desk. They always change the name. So, I don't know why they do that. The desk, the chopsticks under the desk or something. Yeah, it's in Russia. I think it's called the pogrom. I don't know what it's a different name. So on Murphy Brown, they're all screaming and yelling. And then I get hired to do the show, and it's 4 or 5 years in. And I'm supposed to play a big mouth guy. But they're already at a level that I can't get to. This is true of an argument. This is true of a discussion. And this is true of acting. If you go into a discussion, or you go into acting, or you go into a meeting, and you're already at a high level, when you need more intensity, there's nowhere to go. So as an actor, as a comic, as a person making a presentation, you go in at a decent level, and then as time goes on, you pick the pace up so you have somewhere to go, right? It's like you come in screaming and yelling, and then the argument intensifies. Now where do you go? I mean, it's just it's what you're taught in acting school, but it's true in life, right? She came into my office. She was fucking screaming and yelling. How many times have you heard that one? Right? Generally, she came in, we were having a nice discussion, and then we got in an argument. That's the other way it goes. So I get to Murphy Brown, and they're all over the top, and I think they're absolutely awful, right? And I am playing a big mouth. I never raised my voice on that show. Never. I never, ever acted like a big mouth. I couldn't. They were already at a decibel level that I couldn't get to. They were already overacting to the point of distraction, as far as I was concerned. Now, I'm an overactor. I'm a mugger. I'm like, totally unsophisticated and don't give a shit. I'll do whatever. And on that show, I just kind of, and by the way, here comes the big mouth, Jerry Gold or whatever. And those are the shows that I was nominated and won the Emmys for, right? And what's odd is, that's what happened to Modern Family. They became so popular that when you watch it, I wish there was a live audience or a laugh track or something, because I'm looking at it going, are they being funny? What is this? Because it doesn't make me laugh. I don't exactly know what the funny, and by the way, can they elevate the gay couple anymore?
What do you mean,
in that
elevate
show?
What does that mean?
It's all about them.
No, it's not. You're not really watching this. It's not all about them. First of all, they did the wedding this year, so there's a lot about them, but that's a big storyline. It's like, isn't it the first gay couple to ever marry on television?
It is, and here's what's great about that.
And the way that they do their emotional and affectionate scenes, it's not over the top at all. I think that
I know.
There's like one.
Well, they can't. You know why? It's a hit show in Middle America, and you're in Kansas.
But it was widely accepted by those.
You're only going to allow the gays in Kansas if you can laugh at them. Look at the two queers, they say in Topeka. Okay? Grandma, what show are you watching? The one with the two queers? Yeah, right. You're only going to get a good review in Ohio if, oh my God, the two queers are coming on again. I'm telling you. You're not going to have, what is it, the L word or whatever that horrifying piece of shit was. That one.
So it's like Archie Bunker lives in Kansas. That's what you're saying.
No, they're only going to accept gays if you can laugh at them. Well, who's the guy that was on, where the guy was gay and they pretended they were married? That sitcom was on for years. And then the gay guy that's really over the top kind of never worked again.
Jim J. Bullock? Too close to comfort?
No, Modern. It's a woman and a guy, and they live together. He's really handsome, but he's gay. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Should have been called Jack and Karen.
Yeah, but the thing is that
they were the better ones. Jack and Karen were way funnier than Will and Grace ever could be.
Well, I don't like Modern Family because where's the laugh track?
You don't have a laugh track because of the way that it's shot. They have the confessional cameras and stuff. You're not supposed to be watching a sitcom because they have that little time frame where they sit and they talk to the camera. Same thing with that new show with what's her name from My Name is Earl.
Jamie Presley.
Yes, she has a new show with the same thing. There's no laugh track. I guess it's like shot with like one camera or something. I don't know.
If you go on Amazon and you buy the first season of Love and War with Susan Day, get the pilot, and you'll see how it's done. And I mean that. It's a class. It's a class. I'm talking to the camera by yours truly. And how did I learn that? Because of what I'm doing right now. Because I'm talking to a microphone, theater of the mind, and everything else. Okay? Let's go to let's go to Susie, who is in Austin, Texas. Boy, does that sound like that's such an American Texas name. Cowgirl Susie from Austin. Are you wearing boots? You have boots on. You have that little shirt that has the little flowers, but you're going to go out and you're going to rope a calf.
Stay stereotypical, Susie, otherwise he doesn't want to talk to you.
You know what, Christina? You could have been in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You have the little head,
and a giant,
really nice upper body, and then
yep, go ahead.
And then the Japanese fart cannon.
Whatever makes you feel better, Jay. Whatever makes you feel better.
Go online to the Japanese fart cannon, and you'll laugh later at that joke. Susie. That's my new laugh now, Garrett. That was what I had when I was on drugs. That's my new laugh now. Let's go to Susie of Austin. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to let you know, Jay, that I grew up in the Midwest, and the Midwest is a bit more progressive than you may think. For instance, gays can marry in Iowa.
Gays can marry in Iowa.
Yes, it's legal.
If they're able to, wait a second, if they're able to take their vows and run away from Christians, they can get married. Most of the marriages you see in Iowa, they are running with their outfits on while the priest is marrying them, and there are people chasing them. So if you can do that, then congratulations. You're not going to go to some farm in fucking Iowa and see, Ma and Pa fucking Kettle or the American Gothic with the goddamn pitchfork and go, hi, we're here in, give me a town in Iowa, Susie. Hi, we're here in Iowa City, Iowa. Yeah.
Ames.
See those two people over there? There's a man and a man over there. Yeah. They're about to get married. Where's my gun? Where's my gun? Yeah.
Really? Iowa?
Oh, stop it.
Now you're talking Texas.
Stop it. Iowa, stop it. Give me a break. Iowa. Sioux City, give me a break. I've been to Iowa, for Christ's sakes. You know what you use Iowa for across country? To take a shit.
Oh, my gosh.
You're driving cross country. Oh, we're in Iowa. They have corn. You eat some corn and you shit, and then you drive on.
But my point is, it's legal for gays to get married there.
Right. Well, what I like about the marriage ceremony in Iowa is that you're not legal until both of you blow a corn cob out of your asses. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's in the Confederation of the state. I don't know if you know that or
not. Is that an earmark to the bill, or?
It was an earmark. Thank you, Garrett. Thank you very much. You know who did that?
No.
Colonel John Johnson. That's who did it. Yep, he was called Colonel Corn. All right, Susie, we got enough out of you. We used you. Now we're going to toss you away. Toss you away like a dead calf. Get rid of her. Get rid of her.
I don't mean to stop the show and maybe you walk out, but there is a Sister of the Traveling Pants, too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it usually, and here's another one, and I hate to be giving you this. If you have a hit movie, this is the formula. No matter who is in the next movie, really, you could almost change the characters even. It will make half of what the first movie did, whether it's any good or not. Was it any good, Christina? Was the second one?
I didn't see the second one.
Oh. Okay.
America's in it. I saw that, at least on the cover.
Yeah. I don't know that I'd go out of my way to watch that. I had enough of it the first time. She was wonderful. Fantastic. All of them. Blake Lively. She was really good. I mean, it was really well done. And a guy named Quapis was the director.
Now, what's
hey,
the
I am really
Sisterhood? That's not the same thing?
No, not even.
No, that's entirely
sorry.
different. My friend David Rashi is in that. Hey, by the way, I am excited. A guy coming on that I'm a huge fan of that does comedy and does drama and I think might even live in New Orleans. Anthony Anderson is coming on. Christina, thank you.
You're welcome.
He is literally one of my favorite people. Forget the comedy. And he's going to be at Gotham, but I can't wait to talk to him. I'm just a big fan. I love that he, does everything, So that's cool.
Yeah.
And then later on, he'll be on, in a few minutes. And then later on, we have people from the show where you just meet the person and you get married. Married at first sight. Yeah. Started in Denmark. Now, here's the difference. Overseas, they're more honest than they are here. I mean, maybe it's changing, but in America, in the United States, and this is why shows change.
Sexually.
But they don't believe in the American public, the people that do shows. They are absolutely positive that we are complete fucking idiots. And so they, now the writers are all suing the reality shows because they should be getting writer fees from the Writers Guild and all that stuff. And they're not. Some of these writers, and I'm not joking, they make in the hundreds of dollars and they write the scenarios for the TV shows. Literally nothing. If you're a writer on a sitcom and you write an episode, you're going to make $15,000, something like that, or whatever the union minimum is, $20,000 or something. And you're going to get rerun money in the whole deal. And if you're a staff writer, you're going to make a salary of thousands and thousands of dollars a week. So they are correct. And you can tell these shows are written, So, if they really get married, I like the fact that it's multicultural. I can't wait till the people in Iowa City, Susie, see the black guy kiss the white girl when they get into the Motel 6. Huh? When they're tossing biracial tongues back and forth. Can't wait. And then the corn cobs fly out of the asses of the other couples and go into that room. John, who is in Boston. Hello, John. It's Jay Thomas. Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I'm good. I'm good, John. How old is John? Let me go down to where you are right now. Yeah, John, what's happening?
What?
I'm good. Are you in a closet hiding somewhere? You live at home or in an office or something? You got to hide?
Office.
Oh, in an office. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pretend I'm in an office too. Hey, John, what's happening? What's going on?
Hey, I saw an old episode of when you were on with Candace Bergen. She looks postmenopausal.
I'm gonna get my jacket, John. John, I'm gonna get my jacket. Someone wants your jacket, John.
Yeah. Okay.
Out of the office. A little chilly there in Boston today. Rain on the way. She looked postmenopausal. So you called up from Boston to shit on someone that I think is a nice person. And it was a good show and everything else. So you went out of your way. You just said, well, look, I got nothing going on. I'm going to hide in a closet, and I'm going to call Jay Thomas and just...
Well, you talked about how hot she was. I was like, she's not...
I never said she was hot.
Well, you said... that
she was in the world considered hot.
They made that up. They made that
No,
up.
they didn't. Go back and look at the pictures. By the way, you're probably so fucking huge, you could barely get in the fucking closet. Okay,
really?
Let's be honest.
Really?
I mean, go back and look when she was with Muhammad Ali or any of the movies that she was in, and with, Jack Nicholson.
Before, but then when...
Well, of course. And guess what? I want you to take a picture of yourself when you get out. Take a selfie. And put it somewhere, download, keep it, put it in the fucking cloud, whatever the fuck you want to do. And then take one in 10 or 15 years and look at yourself.
Yeah.
No, you didn't hit something. The reality is that you are ugly now and you will be ugly at a later date. There are people that are attractive at some point in their lives and they are still attractive, but they're older. You will never have that joy.
Oh, I just Googled Candace Bergen hot.
Yeah.
In her younger days, absolutely.
Maybe.
But I always found her mannish.
Yeah, she's got a real strong jaw.
Yeah, I always found her mannish. But she was beautiful. And I will tell you a story. I was going to the theater in New York with my girlfriend, and we were going up an escalator. And we're going up this big escalator there in Times Square. And Candice Bergen, this had to be in the 80s, was there with her mother. And her mother was really beautiful, probably 70-something years old at the time. And Candice Bergen was absolutely gorgeous. And we're going up, my girlfriend and I are going up the escalator. And there was a big hubbub around her and stuff. And I remember thinking, my God, the mother is beautiful and she is absolutely fucking gorgeous. Now, go forward like 15 years and then, we're swapping spit. John, this is another thing that's never going to happen in your life. You're never going to see anyone that's special and they're going to do anything with you. So you're in a closet at work and your life is, if your life is 1 to 10, you're down around in the minuses some level, and you're calling up. You couldn't drag us down with a fucking backhoe, okay? We could never get as low as you. If I walked onto a set and you were an actor, I couldn't bring my talent down low enough to get where you are. All right?
Okay, good to know. Hey, I had a question.
John, get the broom, John. Someone wants the broom, John.
All right. Hey,
someone needs. Would you open the door to the closet, please, and get the broom for them? All right.
Hey, do you ever see the movie Family Business?
No.
It's a Sean Connery, Dustin Hoffman. Sean Connery plays Dustin Hoffman's father in it.
What do you like, Ira? You go to the fucking library to get your movies?
How'd you know?
But, all right, see you later. Goodbye. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's, now he had a moment there, didn't he? Let's go to Shawnee, who's in Boston.
Hey, Jay, that guy stunk.
Well, you know what, Shawnee? I think by my demeanor and by the words I used with him, you were kind of stating the obvious, aren't you?
Okay, all right. Well, I wanted to let you know, though, that I find it hard now to trust your movie advice.
You too?
I convinced my wife to watch Beasts of the Southern Wild, based upon your review. And that was three months ago, and I still haven't gotten laid.
Well, you and your wife are too unsophisticated to get it.
Really?
Just by the outfit that you were wearing, you should have liked that show. It's about people kind of like you that are living and they're fighting against, the encroachment of modernization. Their culture, their lives are going to change, and there they are. The little girl's this incredible actress. It's a true story on a level. It's a true story of what happened to people after Katrina, who were moved out of areas that they never wanted to move into town and everything else. And that's just too bad. And the other thing is I recommended this. You didn't like the movie. You're saying your wife didn't like it.
I thought it was all right, but now I can't say just anything, or else she goes, "Oh, did Jay say they we'll watch that too?" I'm mad at me now.
Why don't you watch Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants with your wife? Say I recommended that.
Yeah, all right, I'll try.
That's going to get you laid, Shawnee.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe.
Uh-huh. All right.
Well, thank you.
You're in the same fucking thing with the guy in the closet, Shawnee.
Well, how so?
John Travolta?
Tom Cruise?
I told you guys to stop being funnier than me. Okay. And by the way, I have enough Joe Rogan YouTube videos, and I have enough audio of his podcast and everything else. And I said this to Garrett earlier, and a lot of people send me these podcasts and these radio shows and these YouTubes and all of this stuff. The people that were supposed to make it did. The comics that were supposed to be world famous or nationally famous, the actors and all, they did. And then the other people, and I include myself, that were supposed to just kind of float around in the middle or whatever, the Joe Rogans of the world, right? The Jim Gaffigans of the world, the Mark Marons of the world and all that. We are exactly where we're supposed to be. Kind of close to nowhere and yet kind of near, upper middle. Okay? If we were really great, And if there was true and incredible talent, we would have been discovered a long time ago. And so don't send me any of that stuff. Okay. It's like Weird Al Yankovic. 50 million hits on the internet. He's got the #1 comedy CD for the first time since Alan Sherman's Hello Mudda, Hello Fauda, okay? And how many did he sell to become #1, Christina? 50 million hits on the internet. How many CDs, how many downloads have people made that they paid for of Weird Al Yankovic to be #1? That 99 cents a piece, or maybe $5 or $9.
Ask Garrett.
#1. No, I'm asking you. 50 million hits. People are watching it for free. 50 million hits. How many did he sell to be #1?
Her boyfriend called, so she's on the phone with him.
Who gives a fuck? Her boyfriend, a personal phone call during the show?
Yep, she left.
I guess 500 CDs.
See?
You're an idiot. She left the room because the boyfriend called?
Yeah. I think they have a hot date tonight or something. She has to prepare for it.
Hi. Sorry about that. Everybody talking about me? What's going on?
No, why would you stop the show?
Because I'm trying to get your guest on the air.
Oh, he said it was your boyfriend called. And you had a date. You had to deal with it. Yeah, you got to go. I got to go, too.
I get them.
It's 100,000. It's 100,000. 50 million hits.
Jesus.
Translated into 100,000 of sales. Do you have any idea?
I think
for those
like
of you
2%.
It's the worst. It's the fucking worst, you know? It's like when people have all these Twitter followers. We had the guy on, the funniest guy on Twitter. He can't make $1.
Rob
We had him on. He even said, He even said it.
He even at one point had a board game out that he was pushing that had to do with his Twitter jokes or something. It was really weird. Hey, but he's trying.
Glenn Beck is a fucking genius. Glenn Beck said, you cannot listen to me or watch me for free. By the way, do we have our guest? Is he ready to go?
I'm on hold.
Oh, you are? Okay. We'll go away for a couple of minutes and come back with Anthony Anderson. Stay where you are.
Jay Thomas.
Yeah, a little thing, medically they call pussyitis.
Jay Thomas.
Sirius XM Indy.
AnthonyAnderson.com. Anthony will be Anthony Anderson and Friends at Gotham Comedy Club this weekend. I said before, I'm excited to have him on. I've been a fan of his. And Anthony, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm all right, brother. Thanks for having me.
Now, do you live I'm from New Orleans. Do you live in New Orleans sometimes, or you're just there quite often, or working on movies or something?
Just there often, working on film and TV.
Yeah.
I lived there. I had a television show called K-ville that I shot down there for. So I lived there for about 6 months doing that. That's about the only time, though.
Well, I saw you when you were there. And you know what's great is you do comedy, but you're allowed to do drama. I mean, you did The Shield, and then you get to do All About the Andersons and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure a lot of your buddies wish they could do, usually rappers get to play killers in the movies, like Ludacris every now and again will be a killer. The black comedians have to be black comedians in the movies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're very fortunate, and I am truly a fan. But what I like to hear about is and K-ville was a drama also. That wasn't a comedy, right?
Yeah. 1 hour. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was and so now you don't sound funny. Were you funny as a kid? I mean, you're not like, jumping around acting silly right now. You sound dramatic. You sound like you could strangle me right now if you wanted to. Just put those hands around my neck. No, you do. You sound more like a killer. So I got the killer on the phone right now, which is fine with me. I don't care what persona you have. I don't care if it's drama or comedy. I like you. I think you're funny.
Oh, thank you.
I think you're good.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
You're good.
I get my humor from my mom. I mean, she's the true funny one. But yeah, you know, people ask me all the time, what do I prefer, drama versus comedy? And, you know, I was like, that's like asking me, you know, which one of my children I love more over the other. You know, I love them both, but I love them differently for different reasons. But yeah, that's it. I enjoy the drama. You know,
if I hire you, and I go, Anthony, we're doing this drama, and your wife is doing something or whatever. I mean, I've said this. There's no real thought process. It's not funny, and you come in, and so you act like Anthony Anderson at home, and then if I hire you and go, Anthony, you're this funny mall cop, or you're doing this, or you're chasing people, and it's a comedy, then you act funny, right? Why do people go to acting school? Do you know why they would do that? Because isn't that like if you have to cry, you pull hairs out of your nose. I know all these tricks. You pull hairs out of your nose, or you carry a picture of a guy fucking your wife or your girlfriend, and that makes you cry. And you just
not really. Depends on your wife and your girlfriend. I don't know. You might be into that kind of thing.
Well, there you go. That's when you're doing a comedy. That's when you're doing a comedy. You pull it out and you go, look at that. He's fucking the shit out of it. That's funny to me. Hey, when you were in the Jim Carrey movie, Me, Myself, and Irene, and you played one of his sons, that was the funniest fucking idea. Did Tom Shadyac direct that movie?
No, that was the Farrelly brothers.
The Farrelly brothers. That was such a drug-fueled idea, and I've met one of the Farrelly brothers. That was such a great idea. When you read the script, did you just think, this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life?
Yeah, that and how funny it was. I mean, I did, you know. And you know, you're sitting there, you're reading it. I knew it was Jim Carrey as the lead, and I knew it was the Farrelly brothers, so I knew where it was going and what it was about. But yeah, you sit there and you're like, this is some crazy shit.
There was skinny white Jim Carrey, and then the biggest black guys you've ever seen were his kids. And then there was the fucking midget. Midgets make me laugh. Every time I see Peter Dinklage, I die laughing. I love him.
It was a little person.
Yeah, right. Little person. Yeah, I know. Hey, you ever pull your dick out and go, hey, what's bigger, me or you? You ever do that? I do that to little people all the time. I do that to them.
Word on the street is that when Tony pulled his dick out, he was actually bigger than himself. I'm just saying.
Oh. AnthonyAnderson.com. Anthony Anderson and Friends at Gotham Comedy Club this weekend. And then, Anthony, you're going to be on ABC. Now, we were just talking about Modern Family, which has the gay guys and all that, which is a big hit show. You're going to be in a show called Blackish. Now, if you were on the cable, I would know already that, you know, it's going to be cutting edge and everything else. But, you know, the regular networks now, and they're truly, they're for an audience that says, I kind of wanted a little bit cutting edge, but not a lot. So give us the layout of Blackish. What's the storyline behind it?
Well, you know, it's a story of somebody's just first generation success, you know, and raising my children with more than what they had, than what I had as a kid. But also,
are you married in the show? Are you married?
I'm married. The beautiful Tracy Ellis Ross is my wife.
Now, would she be interested in you? And would she be interested in you in real life? Do you think?
What the fuck are you saying?
I mean, really, would she? I mean, you're a funny guy and everything else, but you're like the girls in the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Remember those girls with those asses? You're like that size person. Would don't make me laugh at my own shit, okay? I don't want to like my own stuff so much. So did they? I mean, really, when you meet the beautiful woman playing your wife, aren't you like, no shit? Would she be interested in you in real life? Do you think?
Yes, motherfucker, yes.
Okay, you know what? That's a good answer. Now let's hear the rest of this story. What's Blackish about? I can't was yes or no. You got it. There you go. You're a confident man. Go ahead.
Yes, I am. But no, it's a story of just it's the American dream. Growing up.
Yeah.
Once you make it, you want your children to have it better than what you had when you were a child.
But blackish,
and to see no color.
blackish to me is like, what does that mean? That you're almost white? I don't get what that title means.
No. It means you're almost black, not almost white. It means you're almost black. Our definition of what blackish is if you look at the African American culture and you look at how the other cultures from around the world have borrowed from our culture and embraced it as their own from our language, from the way that we speak, from our music, our food, our style and whatnot. It doesn't make them black. It makes them blackish.
Well, you lived in New Orleans.
Definition of blackish.
Well, you have worked and lived in New Orleans, and I'm from there, and I will tell you, it is the most blackish, white people are the most blackish of anywhere in the United States in New Orleans. Did you ever notice that? Even me, if I'm down home for a while, my voice, the words that I say and everything else, the music that I was raised on and the places I like to go, it is almost exclusively, based on Creole and black culture. It's not based on Southern culture. Maybe French or whatever, but we are so comfortable with the food that was made and developed by Creole people. So I would say, yeah, I didn't realize that, but you're like, when I'm down home, I'm blackish. I'm blackish.
That's true. Well, while I was in New Orleans, I never met as many white people who were type 2 diabetics because of the blackish food that they ate.
Well, congratulations to us down in. Finally, we've got something that you know what? Fair and balanced. That's what we are. We get the same fucking diseases that black people get. My God. That's unbelievable. And by the way, I have relatives that are fucking drug dealers, so we're very, very close. We got it all.
Oh, there you go.
Well, what are you going to say? Yeah. So now, are you worried that they're going to, because you're going to be dealing with these network executives, even if they're black and female, they're going to be acting like white men who wear bow ties. No matter, once they get into a network office, they become very Colonel Sanderish up there. How are you going to fight that on the set? What are you going to do? What sort of battles do you expect?
Well, I don't expect, I'll tell you this. Paul Lee, president of ABC, has given us the free reign to be as provocative as we can be, and to push the envelope without really, crossing that line. So I applaud him for that. So I don't see us having those type of battles. Paul Lee and ABC are out in front of our show, and its title more so, than what we are. So, I applaud ABC for having the courage, to, allow us to do what we do, but more importantly, to allow us to have this show on their network and have it be called Blackish. So, yeah, I don't anticipate, the fight, as you will call it.
You think when a farmer in Kansas is going through the TV guide, he's going to stop on Blackish and can't wait to tune in?
Oh, my God, of course.
You think so? Just to see what the blacks are up to? Is that what he's going to be tuning in for? Let me just see what they're up to.
See what's going on.
Anthony Anderson, I'm going to put you on the Indie Grill where we ask a question that we have found out about you from Garrett Andritz searching the internet and trying to find something about you. Anthony Anderson, who's going to be at Gotham Comedy Club this weekend, the new TV show on ABC, Blackish. You have a 14-year-old son who was an actor. He read for your show, and you didn't give him the role. Is that true?
He didn't. Yes, I'm not going to say I didn't give him the role. He didn't.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's true.
Get the fuck out of here. What did your wife say to that? I thought you loved your kids the same and all that bullshit.
My son understands why he wasn't cast as the character. Actually,
He wasn't?
my son
Wait a
was
minute.
big-
Was he
my son-
not
my son
black?
was
Wait a minute. Was he not black enough?
He's
too
blackish.
Black. He was too black. He's black.
He
He's
was
too black. It's
too black.
my son would be my son if this was BET, but it's ABC, so I had to go a different route.
You know what I love about you? I mean this. What I love about you is that you threw your entire culture and family under the bus to make tremendous amounts of money, and that I applaud. I applaud that.
Hey, my kids love private school. Damn it, they know how to roll with it.
I'm with you. I'm fucking with you. The only time I ever hired my son to act with me, I made him a mute. He's never recovered from that, ever. And I said, you were so good, you didn't say anything. He goes, it was fucking embarrassing, Dad. I went, well, that's, what can I tell you?
That's showbiz.
Well, yes, go ahead. Garrett Andritz, one of our producers, wants to ask a question. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Anthony's son did get a TV show, and while Anthony was on set, the producer decided to make Anthony his father in the TV show and wrote a whole episode about his son meeting his father or having his father come into some situation.
Wow.
Yeah, true. My son is doing a series called Richie Rich on a YouTube channel, and I was
I know that.
Nice.
Supporting my son, and yeah, that's how I went. They were like, hey, we wrote this script introducing his father. Think you would do it? And I was like, I'd love to do it. And then I threw it in my son's face. I was like, son, look at this shit. I didn't even have to audition for this. And then they did that. You couldn't even get to roll it.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love it. I didn't have to audition. I just had to show if I could get the job. And it says that your dad was like a steel worker or something, and then he owned a chain of clothing stores. Were they those big and tall stores?
Not emphasis on the big, less emphasis on the tall. It was for plus size women and children. He had clothing stores for plus size women and children.
Well, listen, I mean it. I have been a fan of yours forever and ever. I will watch the show. Folks, go to Anthony Anderson and Friends. I guess you have other comics with you at the Gotham Comedy Club Friday and Saturday. Go to anthonyanderson.com, and if you're not aware of what he's done, watch all of his stuff. Re-Rent, Me, Myself, and Irene. It's fucking hysterical. And, thanks, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. I really mean it. Thank you.
No, thanks, brother. I'm a fan of yours, too, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm blackish.
Huh?
Yes, you are.
Season 2?
And I have a Screen Actors Guild card and everything.
Hey, say no more. Come on.
I'm ready to go.
I got you.
I'm with you, pal. I'm with you, pal. Hey, Anthony, thank you very much. And my best to your son and his therapist. All right?
Oh.
He's got the best laugh.
You do, And by the way, for those of you out there that go, hey, how do you make it and all that, Anthony Anderson is an alumnus of the Hollywood High School of the Performing Arts, and also of Howard University. And I've said it a million times. People go, I want to be an actor. Well, go to fucking college. Go to a fucking acting school or whatever. Anthony, thanks very much. I'm a true fan, and I'm happy it's all going well for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. Much appreciated.
Okay, pal. Thank you. Bye. Well, that went exactly like I thought it was going to go. I do. I am, I go out of my way to watch that guy. And I used to see him in New Orleans, and I didn't want to, go up and say anything. But, so.
Well, now you're best friends. So the next time you see him, you have to. He'll be offended if you don't go up and say hello next time.
Oh, no, yeah, I will. But, they're very nice and all, but they don't really know. They don't really know who you are and stuff. I mean, it is very nice. But I go up to people sometime and I go, hey, you're on the show. I'm Jay Thomas. And then they'll respond. But what I think people do, if you're smart, is you write down. I do it too. Let's say I'm going to be on the Bob and Tom show. Isn't that some guys in the Midwest that everyone thinks are good? And I'll go on there and I'll write
California.
Bob and Tom.
Oh, no, it's Kevin and Bean. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'll write it down. And during the interview, I'll go, yeah, well, thanks a lot, Bob. Like that. You throw the name out there.
Yeah.
That's
what you do, Jay?
You go. That's what everybody does. Like when people are being interviewed by me and they have a book or something, they've written my name down, and they'll be talking and they'll go, Jay, blah blah blah. That's what you do. A publicist will teach you that.
I can't remember anybody's name unless I say it.
No, you write it down. So
no,
let's say you're being
if I
interviewed.
meet somebody and they tell me their name, if I don't say their name back, I won't remember the name. In the same conversation.
That's weird, Christina.
Leaves.
What do you think about that, Jay?
Nothing.
Thanks, Jay.
I think it's, what do you do? Carry a list of like 1,000 people?
No,
Hold on a minute.
It's just
I think I remember you from.
If somebody introduces me to Garrett,
was it August 1st that we met of 2013?
If somebody introduces me to Garrett, let's say, if I don't say, "Hey, Garrett, nice to meet you," in the same breath, I won't remember it.
Are you Lawrence Fishburne?
You get your finger scrolling down the list of names.
Yeah. Are you?
It's like that scene in The Devil Wears Prada. She's like, "What's her name? What's her name?"
No. Yeah. Are you Angela Belfus? At Jay Thomas Show at Gmail. Jay, you're always making, this is from Henry, you're always making fun of people on NPR. You never say the name Yuki Noguchi. Yes, that's another one. Yuki Noguchi. I was thinking this morning that everybody on NPR and anybody with a hyphenated name, right? They were all, when they were kids, tattletales. And they were hated, yes. And they were hated and disliked all of their lives. They are the most pseudo-intellectual, full of shit people. And these hyphenated names, it's getting to be ridiculous. And I enjoy some of the shows they do. And I listened all night. Who's the guy I mentioned yesterday? What's his name? What? Avi? No, what is it? Whatever his name was.
Forget.
He had another horrifying person on that had 40 million followers.
Ganesh or something.
Yeah, on Twitter. 40 million. Another zero.
The Jay Thomas Show.
I got so much feedback saying they loved it. And I'm like, what show are you guys doing?
Jay Thomas.
He's the afternoon guy.
On Indy.
Sirius XM Indy.
See the lovers all gone crazy looking for romances. Many sleepless nights will follow some million footsteps. Love at first sight.
Many years ago, and I'm not just, bragging. There's so much bullshit that you hear me say. And a lot of it, I know that things sound like lies that I say. And I lived with a woman for over 20 years that really truly believes most of the things I say are not true and are abject exaggerations. And what's odd is her hatred for me is the reason why I stay with her. Because it gives me great joy to make somebody miserable for over 2 decades. And every now and again she has to fuck me. I find that to be... It brings a smile to my face right now. And I usually bring the Bible out and I open it up to, Deuteronomy, who said, and he and she shall procreate, and his penis, you got a TH on the end of it, his penis shalleth be entered toeth vagineth. Yeah. So, years ago, there was a show called Who Wants to Marry a Multimillionaire? And they hired me because no one else would do it. We didn't think anybody would watch it. It was on Fox. It had 20 or 30 million people watching it. It was crazy. And we married, Darva Conger and Rick Rockwell, and it blew television up. And then they said he was really like a masher or whatever, and he wasn't a millionaire. She and I, for years, went on TV shows, and she hated me. But they really got married. And they said, and the Fox president said, we'll never have another show like this on ever. Well, he's long gone, and there have been many shows like that. And now there's a version of it, I think, that's pretty amazing, where these people meet, and they are married at first sight. And it's Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock on the FYI channel, which is For Your Inspiration. That's the name of the channel. And it's based on this Danish show, Married at First Sight, in this extreme social experiment where 3 couples who are yearning for a lifelong partnership agree to this provocative proposal. Why go through all the shit on the internet or meet people at a bar or whatever? Just get married and move on. And the psychologist is Greg Epstein. Go to harvardhumanist.org. Greg, welcome to the show. Sorry for that long introduction, but that's the way it is here.
No, Jay, I was extremely entertained, so you have nothing to apologize for. That was really funny, and pointed too. Interesting. By the way, I'm the spiritual advisor is my official title for the show's purpose. I'm a chaplain at Harvard University.
Yeah, but it says humanist, and we have humanists on, and they say that they're atheists. We've had them on a couple of times.
That's
Are you
correct.
an atheist chaplain?
I am. Yes, I am. I mean, my
so
title
you're
is
consoling. Chaplain. Let's say I come to you and I'm dying,
sure.
and you're consoling me, and you're being spiritual, and I look up at you, and in my last breath I go, Dr. Epstein, I'm about to die. What's going to happen? You go, nothing. It's going to be black.
I'm going to say that there's nothing you need to fear about death. That there's nothing terrifying or terrible about death. It's part of a natural process. And if you've lived well by your, I'm sure, lovely wife, if you've treated her well, as obviously it sounds like you have, then you don't have to have any regrets. You don't have to have been a perfect person to go to your death with a sense of peace, that you can be satisfied with your human life and the love that you've given and received.
For me,
Christina?
though, it's the knowing that I'm going to miss out on so much.
Sure.
That's the part that I can't grasp. I get that it's a part of life. I get that it has to happen. I'm definitely afraid of it happening because I don't want to be in any pain or suffering. But it's the fact that I'm going to miss out is what I can't get a hold of.
Well, the fact that you are worried that you're going to miss out is part of how you might know that you're living your life well. I mean, it's the fact that you're actually taking the time to look around and see what's good about life that makes you feel like you're going to miss it. That's how you know you're not depressed. I mean, that's a good thing.
That's good. Okay. I feel better. Thank you.
Yeah, we're all human. We're all going to miss things that we're going to miss out on. But this, what's really powerful is that we have the opportunity to live. We've got to do something with it. And look, this show, the couples, there are 3 couples on this show. It's called Married at First Sight, as you said. And the reason I was chosen for this show is because we had to look at hundreds of single people to see if we could match them up. And there needed to be somebody that could say, whatever religion or spirituality or humanism you might have, we accept you as a good person, and we're going to try to match you up with somebody that's right for you. And I was very happy to do that. I don't think being a religious person or being a non-religious person is what makes you a good person. It's being a good person and treating other people well, regardless of what you believe, that's important.
Well, when I'm dying, I would really like the guy to say, in a few moments, you will fall into a deep sleep, and Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, will be waiting for you on the other side. You'll be taken in a golden chariot, and you will be taken up to where your father lives and your grandmother, and there's a big meal being, even though it's a lie, I would rather have that being told to me.
Well, I would
as I'm slipping into that final unconsciousness. Yeah, Greg, if you're ever administering to me after a car accident, tell me that there are going to be angels and trumpets and blowjobs on the other side. Would you please
What I would tell you is that there are people who believe that, and so certainly if that's what you need for comfort, Jay, then I would tell you that there are people who believe that. I wouldn't happen to be one of them, but I wouldn't emphasize that part for you.
See, I'd like a church of sensible Christianity where whatever bullshit you want to hear, it's okay. That's the one I like.
Some would say that there are such things. I would say that I work all the time with Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Zoroastrian, et cetera, colleagues.
What's the last one? Are those Scientologists? Who are they? The Zoroastrians.
You gotta go from A to Z, atheist to Zoroastrian. Zoroastrian is an ancient religion that comes out of ancient Persia, which is ancient Iran, from thousands of years ago, long before Islam ever existed. And it tends to be a very peaceful religion. There aren't very many Zoroastrians left in the world. A lot of the ones that I know are scientists, but it's an ancient religion, one of the ancient religions that still survives to this day.
So the other day I was listening to and we'll talk about Married at First Sight in a minute. I was listening to a Jesuit, and I was educated as a Jesuit, and I love them. And some are very right wing. Our Pope is a Jesuit, and all that. And you must know them too, being from Harvard. And what was cool about him was he's a scientist. Gosh, I apologize. I want to say his last name was Korn or something like that. I'm so sorry, but he said, "Gee, you know." I have friends that are scientists and stuff, and he said that at least when I discuss things with them, they say, yeah, we don't exactly know what that force is. We don't want to call it God, but we don't know what it is. He says that this is a Jesuit now. He says the people that really frighten me, the people that I cannot have any discussion with at all, are evangelicals. And he said this on a national radio show. And he got a big laugh. He said, they frighten me because you can't reason with them. They say the earth was done in 6 days and then God rested on the seventh. And he says, we have rocks that are 13.8 billion years old. And we know that humanity, the first life, not humanity, the first fish or whatever it was, you know, that catfish that crawled out with the gills and the feet, was 2 billion years ago and stuff. And so, yeah, I agree with it. But, you know, you're calling yourself a humanist and you're at Harvard. What happened to the atheist thing? Is that just too rough of a word? Is that why you can't say atheist?
Atheism is what I don't believe, right? So, yeah,
really?
if you're asking me about whether I believe that there's a supernatural God that created us all in the world in 7 days and all of that is going to send us to heaven or hell, no, I don't believe that exists, but that's not the focus of my life. Humanist means this is what I do believe. I do believe that we're all created by evolution, that we're all basically the same genetically, that we are responsible to live with one another in peace. We're responsible to love one another, and we've got to respect our fellow human beings and act compassionately regardless of who we are or where we're going or not going at the end of our lives. And I think that's why they picked me for this show is because they were sitting there thinking, you know, this show comes from a Danish show. And so in Denmark, it's a really secular country. There's many fewer religious people in Denmark than there are in the U.S. So they got a couple psychologists and they got an anthropologist, and then they said, well, we need to get a different view. Let's get a priest from the Church of Denmark. They've actually got a national church there. So it was a way to kind of give a different view. In America, we're a much more religious country. Although young people, and this show is all about young people are the least religious demographic group in the country. There's like over a third now, about a third at least, of young American adults say they're not religious. So they were thinking, well, who are we going to get to deal with all these young people that if we get a Christian coming in here, they can talk to them. If we get somebody Jewish, if we get somebody Muslim, if we get somebody who is atheist, agnostic. And they called me up and they said, would you do that? And I said, yeah, I'm happy to. We're all good people. I mean, I'm just trying to help people to find the life that works for them. Your Catholic friend, that's another story. I could get into that if you want me to.
No. What I wonder is that here you are talking, and basically, and we were just talking about it among Christina Garrett and I. You know, in Denmark, the sexual, and in Sweden and all those countries, even Europe, you know, they're more free about sex, and I don't think the shows are as written or as planned. And I do this for a living, so I'm not putting you down. I'm just saying that you're about to enter into a thing where they're going to manipulate these people. But I meet Christina, and in the first episode we get married, and we start screwing that night. I mean, how is that working on this show?
It's pretty amazing. What we have is you see we just had the third episode.
I'm sorry, they're married. They're making love. I'm sorry. So this piece of paper makes the word rape become consensual because there's a piece of paper.
No, not true. Not true, Jim.
Really?
That's not nice. No.
If I married somebody and I got the paper and I go, hey, baby, you signed up for the show.
No,
I got the paper, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Pull him down. Daddy's ready.
No, Jay, you still
Can't
need
do
your
that.
wife's consent. I'm sorry.
Really? Okay.
Absolutely. You want to be a good
Right.
person and not a criminal. That is important to keep.
Have you worried about that? Are they worried about that? Is there like a security guard?
No. Actually, we did extensive background checks on all of the people that we even consider doing in this show, bringing into this show. So
and there are no Ray Donovans. There are no Ray Donovans in the.
Boy. And the thing is, if you watch the show, a lot of people seem to be watching the show, and one of the things that people are saying is, wow, you guys actually found, and I'm pretty impressed that we did, because I was not sure we were going to do this. We actually found 6 genuinely really likable, caring, serious people who, they're doing this crazy thing, and they'll be the first to tell you that what they're doing is a little bit crazy. But sometimes you can have people who are willing to do a crazy thing, but they're ultimately sane, good people. And that's what these people are. And so the audience, when I was posting on this about Twitter, there's this huge Twitter conversation about the show. And the thing that I posted on Twitter that got the biggest response was I just said, as people are telling me, what you find yourself doing with the show is you're rooting for love. You're rooting for people to connect with one another. You're rooting for people to actually get beyond themselves and the selfishness that we all have inside of ourselves and actually help another person, be there for another person, love another person. And it turns out it's actually cool. It's actually good, and it makes you feel good to see that on screen and to be reminded that we actually, as human beings, have the ability to get past crazy situations, get past our selfishness, and love one another. It's nice.
Boy, the fucking network must love you. They must, FYI. Because I got to tell you, the way we're looking at it, and I read the bios of the people, and I think USA Today did a whole thing, and each one of them looked like emotional relationship basket cases. Each one had trust issues. I forget all their names. Each one of them had been cheated on by their boyfriends. Mm-hmm. The guys were jealous of women. And I'm looking at this thing thinking, holy shit, this is a group of emotionally wounded individuals. Now they're going to be on international, television with psychologists and humanists and everything else surrounding them. And, but I don't know. I
think that's a little bit of an exaggeration, in the sense that, there are, if you look at these 6 individuals, they do,
You go online. I want to interrupt you. You go online. Go online to USA Today online and type in and look at what they put. They put all their pictures, and they put, and I read it on the air. Remember that, Christine and Garrett? I read it on the air of what was said by each one of who they were, and it wasn't pretty. They were not people that I would go, wow, I can't wait to get with her. You know what I mean?
One of my students, we were watching the show. I was watching the show with some of my students, and one of them said to me, man, I see some of the people on the show, and they're doing things, and I hate watching it. And I was like, why do you hate watching it? He said, well, they're doing these stupid things. And I said, do you ever make a mistake like that in a relationship? And the student I was talking to was like, well, yeah. And I said, I don't know about you, but I've made mistakes like that in relationships. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, sometimes we hate the things that we can see a little bit of in ourselves and we don't like in ourselves. I would say about these 6 individuals.
So you're turning this on me, aren't you, friend?
You're an asshole, Jay.
Oh, yeah. Greg Epstein has just turned the fucking ship and aimed it right at me. Wait a minute.
No, I'm turning it on me myself, on me as well as you, Jay. I'm turning it
Greg,
on.
It's okay. It's okay. But I look at myself and think, if I met, and now here's the other thing. Biracial is kind of cool. That's going to send up some flags by people. But there are no fat people or ugly people on this show. I mean, they are physically attractive. You're laughing, but they're physically attractive. Let's say I go to the altar and they pull the curtain back and there's America Ferrara waiting for me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she's very nice.
Although one of the biggest plot lines of the show, Jay, was that one of the 2 couples, Doug and Jamie, he walks out and he seems to be a really nice guy, and he's shaking hands with her family before the wedding. And then he's wondering what he's going to see coming out, who he's going to see coming out. She comes out. She's a very beautiful woman, and she looks at him, and she's not attracted to him. She's totally not attracted to him, and it's like disaster. What do we do? And the whole sort of second, third episode is all
now. Is that true? Is that really wait? Is it true? Yeah. Did they really not know each other before?
Sincerely. Now
look, you don't believe in God, so lying. Wait a minute. Lying doesn't mean anything to you. You don't believe in God.
No. I was really impressed by how well they did that.
Okay.
It's these. I mean, I don't know.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Christina, do you believe Greg Epstein from Married at First Sight?
100%.
Wow. Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock on FYI. Garrett, do you believe Gary Epstein?
Still on the fence.
Greg Epstein.
Yeah.
He's on the fence. Greg.
Greg, I believe. Gary, I was still on the fence.
I'm sorry, Gary.
Yeah, Gary's a liar.
Greg. Gary's a no good bastard. And he's an Orthodox Jew, that Gary Epstein. So he's no good. He's no good. By the way, I'm sure you were raised Jewish, only because your first name is Greg. But how have your parents taken the fact that you are this humanist person?
My mother is, she's really excited about it. I grew up Jewish, but none of us were really particularly religious. It was important to us because it was our culture. And then one day after college, after I was a religion major in college, I said to her, Mom, I think I'm going to get ordained as a secular humanist rabbi, a rabbi who is also an atheist. And she looked at me like, huh? And then after we talked about it for a little bit, she was like,
Did she turn the gas on and close all the doors in the kitchen and just sit there for a while? With a plastic bag on her head? Did she do that? That's what a lot of parents would have done.
For me, but if I don't call her once every week or two, she will call me up and she'll say, can I take my head out of the oven now? Is that okay with you?
How long do you have to stay with the person on Married at First Sight, and what are the legal ramifications and the paperwork considering divorce or I want out of this or whatever? How does that work?
So the way that it works is the couple sign up. They say they will get legally married. So they meet each other at the altar. Then they get married. Then they have their wedding party. They go on a little honeymoon. They come back. They move in together, and they live together for 6 weeks. And they're filmed twice a week for 2 days a week for those 6 weeks. At the end of those 6 weeks, we sit them down and we say, do you want to stay married or do you want to get a divorce? If they want a divorce, all the expenses in the divorce are paid for. And by the way, just to try to keep them as safe as possible, if they change their mind within 6 months, we'll still pay for the divorce. So we didn't want this to be too crazy of a risk for these people. We wanted to really keep them healthy.
This should happen in real life. I would have loved it if somebody came to me after 6 months and was like, do you want to still be married to this guy?
No, you know what? I have to tell you, I wonder
nope.
if after, I think after 6 months, we would have been fine. But there are lots of people. I mean, if 60% of American or maybe worldwide couples are being divorced, except in the Muslim countries where they cut your clit off and you just sit there looking at, like the wall. I think a lot of people would say, I want out of this. And also, this is true. Arranged marriages have a much greater success rate than marriages for love. Did you know that, Greg?
I did. And look, the show is not about arranged marriage. If these are the only 3 arranged marriages in the United States this year, that's more than enough for me. What the show is about, the play on words in the show is about Married at First Sight. This idea of love at first sight. Look, some people might believe that they find love at first sight. But the point is, even if you do find love at first sight, it's not going to matter at all. It's not going to do you a damn bit of good unless you're prepared to work at the relationship and actually treat the person well for the rest of your life. If you don't do that, I don't care what you feel when you first meet them. I don't care what you feel ever. Love is about behavior. It's about actually being a good spouse. And that's what we wanted to make sure people thought about with this show. That's what we wanted to provoke a conversation about.
I think if I had relaxed, and I'm thinking of a specific couple of women in my life, I think if I had relaxed, I met some women, and not many, including the woman I'm married to. When I first met them, I thought, wow, this is, very interesting. The ones that weren't going to be the one, and even though I stayed with some of them for years, I knew within 10 minutes of the first date that I would not be with them for any length of, I would be with them, but I would never end up with them. And this is so weird, but I stayed anyway. I liked sleeping with them. They were good looking. Maybe they were great at some sport or whatever, but I wasn't going to be with them for the long run. But
so how do you feel about that? Do you think that you wasted your time, or do you think it was okay for you, or what?
No, I was getting my dick sucked, and they were beautiful, and we were fucking and having a great time and playing tennis. And of course they thought we were going to get married and all that bullshit. And I danced and danced around for years with them and fought with them and pretended I was going to marry him and all kind of other shit. I was there for me. I was there for my fucking shit. And then the other women I met.
Did you treat them all right? Did you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. There were some. Wait a second. There were some fisticuffs, but I didn't throw the first punch.
I thought you were going to say fisting.
There were some fisticuffs. I didn't throw the first punch. But then there were 2 or 3 women I met, and they're specific in my mind that when I met them and went out with them and had a relationship with them, I thought, wow, I would live with them, I would marry them or whatever, and I probably could have been put with them, and we would have been okay. And that's what you made me think about. But most of us are going out with someone that, we're enjoying what we're doing, but mostly men, too. I don't know about women. Maybe you, Christina, are different, but, you go out and you're having a great time, and you just know you're not going to get married. And that's what I would find after the first night with a woman that I was put together with on a TV show, I think.
Well, one of the things that we try to convey, there's a guy who tweeted, and I retweeted him at one point, that the experts, whether we're experts or not, we're the 4 panelists, the 4 advisors in this show, he said, we put more thought into these 3 marriages and in how to combine and why to combine these 3 couples than went into his 2 marriages combined.
I believe. That I believe.
Twice for no good reason, for no thoughtfulness whatsoever. And we're saying, look, it's not that you, in order to be a good person, you have to get it right, or you have to do perfectly, or you have to choose the right person, whatever. But put some thought into it. In this day and age, we have all kinds of ways, psychologically, spiritually, ethically, whatever. We have ways of learning about each other, so you can use your time to its fullest. Don't waste time with somebody who's not right for you. Don't waste your time, and don't waste
But we do.
Time.
We all do. All kidding aside, my wife dated a guy for 7 years. 7 years. He's now on the board of directors, believe it or not, 30 years later, of an apartment building that we now own an apartment in that her dad owned and all. She goes to deal with the apartment in the estate, and she looks, and this guy has just been elected to the board of directors. She hasn't seen him in 30 years, right? And I said, wow, you went out with him for 7 years. That's a long time. She goes, yeah, and she couldn't stand him and didn't want to get married. And it was like, I go, 7 years? Yeah, we were together in the weekends. That's what a lot of people do, and some of those marriages work and some of them don't. I think we're more into not having trouble. Breaking up is trouble. It's a big problem, and then you're by yourself, and you miss the person that you didn't even like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but being with somebody that you don't want to be with and wasting your time and theirs can be even more trouble.
It's awful.
Jay, if your wife and her ex are okay with the fact, if they got something out of it, that they were together for 7 years, then that's healthy, that's fine. But I would suggest that there's a lot of our listeners, of your listeners, that may feel, as I've felt in the past, as people in my community have felt in the past, that it really sucks. You're in this relationship and it's not going anywhere, and you're wasting your time and you're wasting your life, and you just want this person to love you better, to treat you better, or whatever. And you keep doing it because you think, oh, this is the only person for me, or I'm never going to meet anybody better, or I don't know how to meet anybody better. And what we're trying to say is, stop it. Stop it. Go use your intelligence. Go use your, go use.
But I don't think this show.
Understanding to find somebody.
Yeah, I think you're like a psychologist. You're like a therapist right now. I think this show, Married at First Sight on FYI. I think producers sat down and they said, look, these reality shows are running out of gas. We got to fucking do something. Why don't we just get some people and marry them at first sight? I mean, come on. They're getting married naked in the forest. They're running loose and everything else. I mean, it's really about making money and being provocative. And we're all thinking about what happens the first night. What happens?
If all you do is look at the trailer, read the title, and read about it in the post, then you will think that, and I completely understand. If you watch the show, I don't think you could possibly think that. I really don't.
Has anybody had sex? Have they consummated the first night? I haven't watched, but the first episode. Has anybody consummated the first night?
Can I give us? I mean, I guess this isn't a spoiler because it did just happen on this last episode, right? So it's okay.
No, it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. No,
it aired already.
Yeah,
it aired already. Yeah, don't tell us anything that didn't air. Don't tell us.
There has been sex. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then
not
has
with
there
all
been
the couples,
anybody?
not with all the couples, but yes.
Has there been anybody that said, "I thought we were going to have sex and it didn't happen, then I'm disappointed"?
There's one guy who is clearly really attracted to his wife, and they haven't had sex yet, and he's waiting for it to happen, but he's actually being a gentleman. He's being really patient, and I think she appreciates that.
If you get divorced,
we don't know if it's going to happen yet, but he's being a good guy about it.
If you get divorced, are you off the show? Is there a prize, or do they bring in another person for you?
Nobody gets voted off an island. This is something that one of my fellow panelists, Logan Levkoff, said. She said she accepted the show after they assured her that nobody gets voted off an island, nobody gets $1 million, it's not a game show. It's really not. They wanted to call it a documentary series, but it has pretty good production values. It's a show. It's a show, but it's not to play games with people's lives. Beyond the original concept, which is you're going to get married to a stranger, that's it. From there on, all they want to see is what life is like for you.
Well, I'm going to go out of my way to watch this and really watch it. And because, we're all looking for a show that's not, Honey Boo Boo and Duck Dynasty and everything else. And I really think reality shows could be a tremendous amount of fun if the American producers would allow them to happen and have some sort of belief that the public will watch real life. I mean, even sitcoms back 30, 40 years ago, there were great actors, and they would allow characters to develop and everything else. I mean, they are so frightened now that for 5 minutes you're going to tweet or get off the fucking show or whatever it is. Let's go to Paris of New York.
I want to give a shout out to everybody. This show is on this new network called FYI, and the FYI network, which is owned by A&E, and the producers and the people that produced it are called Kinetic Content. I really want to thank them because they could have embarrassed the hell out of me and of my fellow panelists if they had made this into a sensational show that was just trying to exploit people and make us all look stupid. We signed a contract that would have let them do that. And they are not doing that. They're treating this really seriously, and I just want to take a minute to thank them for that.
And the show is Married at First Sight on FYI. Paris of New York. Yes, Paris. Go ahead. Are you a male Paris or a female Paris?
I'm a female, and I just wanted to say, as an African American who's gay living in America, it seems ridiculous that the straight community would say that the gays shouldn't get married because they make a mockery. In this show, you can just get married with no consideration about love. And there are still more states than not that I can't get married in. I can get married.
All right, hold on a second. Yeah. Greg, her question is, how dare this country, you didn't do this, how dare this country say gays can't get married, and now this show, which is probably going to do very well, there's nothing about love or anything, and do you plan on having gay couples in this show?
It's a two-part question. First of all, Paris, I just want to say you have my sympathy. It is wrong. I believe that gay marriage should be
sympathizing for her. Wait a minute. Does she have your sympathy because she's black and lesbian? Is that why you have?
No, because there are still states in this country where this woman can't get married legally, and that's not right. That's not right.
All right.
And by the way, almost everybody involved in the show believes believes and supports gay marriage. We all.
Hey, Paris. This is the show. Wait a minute. This is the show. Paris, I meet you. We get married. You're gay. I'm not. And I turn you around after 6 weeks.
Because you're so
Why
sexy.
do you always think you could just turn something around?
I don't know. I just thought of it. Greg, go back to the people at that fucking network. I got a brilliant idea.
Yeah, you got to put this as a separate show, Jay, because that's not our show. We put together people that they're right for.
Hold on. Go ahead, Paris. We're shouting over you. Go ahead, Paris. Paris, go ahead.
I'm saying, depending on what state the show is shot in, I couldn't even participate in the show.
Well, it's shot in New York. It's shot in New York, and you're absolutely right. It's an outrage. It is an outrage. But that's not what the show is about. The show is not making a mockery of marriage, Paris. Well, you're free to feel that way. I encourage you to watch it. If you disagree, that's fine. But every single person who's involved in this show takes marriage extremely seriously. And the thing that we're concerned about is that there's so much divorce in this country. There is so much divorce, and it hurts so many people. It hurts men. It hurts women. It hurts gay people. It hurts straight people. It hurts.
Are you going to have gay people get married on this show?
I would be honored. I would be honored.
I know you'd be honored, but we want to know, are you going to have gay, fat, and ugly people on the show?
You guys watch the show and give us a chance.
I didn't mean you were fat and ugly, Paris. I meant that in 3 sections. Gay, fat, and ugly. That's right. Yeah.
You guys watch the show and see if you really like it, because I'm telling you, you can mock the show, you can be outraged. If you watch it, I think you will like it. And, and then if people watch it, we'll have a chance to do season 2, and I hope to do a gay couple in season 2.
Hey, Paris.
There you go.
Paris, I want you to send a picture of yourself. No, we're not supposed to see each other. You and I should just do a YouTube show, and we get married. And that makes me a bigamist. And we do it in a state where bigamy and gay marriage is illegal. We get married. I'm a bigamist, and you're gay, and we get married. Now the show is about the police chasing us through the state. And I want I'm going to get that gay, and I'm going to get that bigamist.
So we could combine the shows, like Naked
and
and
the reason why the show is compelling. Here's why it's compelling. And we're smoking dope in a state that doesn't have medical marijuana. Wow. We're going to do it all.
Jay, I'm very sorry.
Hold on to your fucking humanist hat, Greg. I'm coming at you.
I would have to turn down the opportunity to be the spiritual advisor on that show.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. You would love it.
You're going to hate that decision and regret it for the rest of your life.
But I wouldn't consent to it. So I wouldn't consent to be part of it.
Yeah, you know what our show's going to be called, Paris? On the Run. That's the name of the show.
There you go.
All right.
Paris,
thank you so much.
Paris, thank you very much. All right, Greg, listen, we've gotten a lot out of this interview, and it's on By the way, these channels are hard to find. I mean, is it online also? I mean.
Yeah.
Does everybody have FYI?
Just go to FYI.tv.
It's the old biography channel.
Yeah. It used to be the biography channel. That's
everyone
okay.
Bio channel.
All right.
Yep. So if you had bio channel, you now have FYI. If not, upgrade your package, I guess, or just go check out FYI.tv. We're all on there. You can follow me and all the other people on the show on Twitter. And, just watch it. Let us know what you think.
Let's put Greg Epstein on the Indie Grill, please, Garrett. Wow. We have found out a lot of things about you, and and you're going to have to answer this question. Greg, of course, is an ordained humanist rabbi from the International Institute of Secular Humanist Judaism. I'm sure they're all happy about that in Israel. And he is the executive director at Harvard and a humanist Center for Humanist Life there on the campus. You hold a BA. Yeah. You hold a BA in not just religion, but also in Chinese.
Correct.
I want to hear you say something in Chinese.
Oh,
right in your face, Jay. Wow.
You know what? You prick.
Oh, my God.
You did it too fast. What did you just call me?
Oh, man. You don't even want to know, Jay. You really don't.
God damn you. Is it like one of those tattoos where they think it's love and health and it says go home Yankee or Yankee
or
bitch or something?
Here.
I had an ex-girlfriend when I was 20 who had a lot of those tattoos, actually.
Yeah.
Stamps.
Hey, Greg, good luck. Greg Epstein, I hope you're not disappointed in the people that run television after all this, okay?
Oh, well, you run television, Jay, and I'm not disappointed in you.
Yet.
Well, but
Yes.
I'm willing to try to become disappointed by you, though.
Married at First Sight. Tuesday nights, the first run, 9 o'clock on FYI. What are you, like third episode in? Something like that?
Yeah, we're about to have the fourth episode this coming week. Next week we'll have.
No, I really do want to see it. I you have really convinced me that it is going to be different, and I'll see.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
And also online only they have the casting special. So the first episode started with the three couples. But you can also go and watch the casting special, and you'll see exactly how we picked the people, how we decided on the process. You can really get the behind-the-scenes look at it. So, let us know what you think. We'll see you on Twitter.
Can Christina go online and try to get cast in the next go-round?
You can certainly try, Christina.
I'm going to be a two-time divorcee by the time I'm 35. Is that what you're telling me?
You may meet. I mean, listen.
This is all
You may meet the
scientific.
guy. It's very scientific.
People who've never been married before, so that is part of the rule.
Oh, get out of here. What
Thank
kind
you.
of... no
Garrett?
black lesbians, and now you have to have been not married before?
Garrett's never
Come
been
on.
married before.
Oh, you've never been married?
No.
And I would love to see you try to find somebody that is perfect for him, because he has no ambitions. He just likes to sit and do nothing.
All right. Well, we could see. If we had somebody who's compatible with him, great. If not, then sorry, there's not much we can do.
All right, pal. Thank you
All right,
very
man.
much.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Way to go. He was going to say it was a pleasure.
Yeah, it's too much.
Let's go to Ken of Tulsa. Ken, how long did you know your wife before you married her? How long were you together with her?
Well, at the present, we're just qualified domestic partners. We're not.
You got a certificate. Do you go to Jiffy Lube to get that certificate when you're getting your car smogged? How do you get that? That
You go
certificate?
online, and it's the same place where you get church credentials online.
Christina is now a minister, as I am, of the Universal Life Church. So
I had a PhD in metaphysics back in the 80s from ULC.
Wow.
So I'm
Metaphysics.
a doctor of metaphysics.
What'd that cost
from
you?
our church?
Yeah. How much?
What?
$35 it cost me.
$39.99.
Yeah, to become a minister.
It was like $10 back in the 80s.
Yeah, well,
But
it's not the good old
It
days.
warmed my heart earlier to hear a black lesbian on the Jay Thomas show. I thought that was cool. I didn't know you let black or lesbians listen to your show.
My show is listened to by a tremendous amount of gay people and various people of color all over the United States, because deep down inside, people know that I am lesbianish and blackish. They know that. I think that was proven earlier. Yeah, I'm lesbianish and blackish.
Thing for the women.
Not gayish, just lesbian.
Not gay. Well, no, I could be gayish. I could be all of it.
Would you be a bull dyke, Jay?
You know, I have to tell you, I think that I
feel like
know
you
that
would
I'd
be
be the
real
husband.
prissy. Yeah, you
I
would
would be
like
prissy.
getting your nails done and
I would be the Felix of
a
the
lot
Odd
of high
Couple.
maintenance.
The dinner, the fastidiousness, and all that stuff. I mean, if those two guys weren't gay, there weren't two gay guys on television or in the movies.
And Felix was the bottom twink.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know that. You know that.
By the way, we used to have, him on the show all the time, and I know Howard had him on too. He was the most wonderful man, and he got married in his 70s and had a child with this beautiful.
Oh, gross.
No, he did. He had a child with this beautiful young wife. I mean, go online and see it. He's passed away now.
He was a lot younger. Wasn't he like almost 80 when they got married?
Yeah, and they had a baby, and he was, everybody loved him, Letterman, Carson, all the talk show people, and he started doing radio shows, and he came up, I believe it's Sirius when I was first here, it's all a muddle. I wasn't on the air too long in New York, in 2002, so maybe he did it then, but I wasn't on that long, only like a year. So, all right, well, thank you, Ken. Thank you very much. Let's go to John, who's in Texas. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, John, go ahead.
Yeah, Jay, I called you a couple weeks ago. You gave me some
tips when I was applying for a job to become an instructor. And
wait a second. Hold on a second. I gave you job tips. Hold on a second. Oh, you got to go back over.
No. It wasn't. You gave me acting tips so I wouldn't be nervous in front of a crowd.
And I told you to take a deep breath, right?
Right.
And then what else did I tell you to do?
Oh, you told me to find something in common with the people and kind of get the same type of feelings to kind of get a rapport with them. Well, anyway, I took your advice on my first interview. I aced that. I just got about an hour ago. I came out of my second interview. I aced that, and I got the job. I just got hired
Yay!
today. Thank you.
Wow. Congratulations, Jay Thomas, career counselor.
And what did you use to? Are you both the people that love guns and hate gay marriage? What did you find that you could deal with the other person?
The commonality was the equipment that I'll be teaching and the familiarity that they are with it. And remember, you said to remind them how it was the first time that Tool intimidated you. You don't remember everything you told me. But
Oh, yes, I do. I remember now. It's coming back to me. You were an expert at this piece of equipment, and I said you need to focus on what makes you comfortable, which is the equipment. And at the same time, you need to remember your nerve, like mine in front of a microphone, or Garrett's when he's trying to run the equipment, or Christina, the same thing. We're all when I look back at the first day, I looked at a radio board and I had to run it myself.
Oh,
a guy said to me,
I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah, it's scary. And now it's even more frightening. But when I was doing it, we had records and buttons and lights and tapes. We had to run these tapes, and you had to run them all together. And I wanted sound effects and movement. And it took years to be able to figure it out. And so terrific. You know what? Thank you. I'm glad I helped you, and I'm not, totally full of shit. No,
you weren't full of shit at all. I mean, it totally worked, and I really wanted to thank you. I said it worked both interviews. I was comfortable up there. I'm going to be going to China to teach now. I mean, I'm going all over. I'm going to Israel. I mean, all over the place. But,
wow. Yeah, now, what kind of money are you going to make a year? What kind of money?
The actual base pay salary is probably going to be around $60,000 a year. But when I'm overseas,
now, what would you pay a counselor? Hold on a second. What would you pay a counselor after you make $60,000? It would be maybe 10% at least of the first year's salary.
You're a counselor,
I mean,
not
you
a
came
manager.
to me, free fucking advice. You get the fucking job. You're not going to pay taxes. You're going to get expenses. You're going to be flying first fucking class. I don't do this shit for free, my friend.
Hey, all I can say is I love you, and I just appreciate you.
Really? You notice you're the only one laughing, huh, John?
What's your salary?
He said 60.
60. Base. No, it's a base.
For the base.
Remember, Garrett, he may not have to pay taxes because he's certainly working for the CIA.
Yeah, he's making way more than me.
No.
When he goes to China, Garrett, here's how it works. That piece of equipment is filled with microphones and Wi-Fi and everything that directly sends shit back to the CIA. That's no bullshit.
Fucking sneak.
You bet your fucking ass. Now, John, of course, when they arrest you, you're going to say you don't know anything about it, and I believe you. You won't know anything. They probably saw this idiot, and they go, he'll never check the machine out for the extra equipment we're putting in it to catch these Chinese.
He came in for a job interview and just kept talking about a piece of machinery. We didn't know what he was talking about.
We don't know what the fuck he was talking about. We're sending him over there with secret equipment and shit,
Well, fortunately, I'll be teaching about a tool that I used to work on. So,
and you're also going to Israel, right? You said Israel, right?
Yeah, I'll be going.
We're spying on Germany, China, Israel. Where else are they sending you?
Well, I don't know. And depends on. I'll be going to either companies' factories to teach, or the main teaching places in China.
Yeah, you're a spy.
Well, I am prior military, so.
Oh, really?
12 years in the Navy.
Yeah, well, I expect to see you on TV in handcuffs with a bag over your head.
Holding today's newspaper?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, hold it. That's right.
Also
Yeah.
going to Taiwan and Korea, too.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to Taiwan and Korea? Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know, it seems like everywhere you're going, there's going to be a contact, like his name will be,
Well, I just hope it's not Malaysian Airlines.
we don't need. Who are you, Jason Biggs? All right. Thank you very much. See you later.
It's like the Falcon and the Snowman.
It is. You know what's funny? I received a call from the CIA, and they said, look, when you have this machinist call up, he's going to ask for advice. Give it to him.
Wow.
How'd you get him to call me? They put a chip in his head, and they made him call me. So it's
really
been going on.
Here
It's been going on for months. And as you know, I work for the United States government.
Obviously.
I work for the United States government. Yeah, this whole thing is a plan. All right. There are a lot of people that listen to us that think they're chips and shit put in their head. You are correct. There are. And there are people that work for the CIA and the government that send out signals and stuff that operatives are. You are correct. And you're listening to one of them right now. Why do you think I move channels so much? Okay? That's it. And people go, well, where do you go when you never announce there's a replay? Pfft, I don't know when they're going to call me away. I don't have time. But I've been on torture sessions, everything. I've seen people waterboarded in vodka. Oh, yeah.
How was that quote-unquote colonoscopy yesterday?
Yeah, there you go. Well, you know what, Garrett? They were taking out the old tag that was in my ass and putting in a new one. They're putting a new signal thing in there, you know. The battery goes dead after 7 years.
You're in deep. Wow.
I'm in real deep. I'm deep. I'm so deep they went up to my fucking pancreas. All right. We'll be right back. It's Jay Thomas, yes.
He's the afternoon guy.
Very personal, not like the rest of us.
The Jay Thomas Show.
On Indy. Sirius XM.
Indy.
This comes from Lou of Kansas. Jay, I'm from Kansas. We're much more liberal than you or a lot of people think. Gays can marry here as long as they're being dragged behind a truck. Thank you, Lou, very much. We didn't know that. This is from Steel Balls. Getting something rammed up your ass, and then you go home and watch Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. You're a sassy guy, aren't you? You're sassy.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Greg says, you made fun of Jason Mraz, whatever his name is. He's a musician.
Mraz.
I find it odd you'd take shots at a songwriter, given the fact that your son, JT, that you talk about all the time, wrote the song Smile, which is really fruity. Stop it. Jason Mraz, whatever his name is, I heard him interviewed, and it was just full of shit. My son has never, ever talked about how he's written a song or anything. Smile was done in a room with other people to make fucking money. That's how you write songs. That's how you write TV shows. That's how you write a movie. That's how you write a book. You want to be interviewed and say, oh, the book came to me after my mother passed away and I felt as though I had... That's all bullshit. J.K. Rowling. Give me a fucking break with Harry fucking Potter and she was homeless and all that bullshit. Stop it. She stole every word of that from some woman that wrote a book a long time ago. Alleged. But there were court cases. Okay, and now she changes her name to a man's name and tries to write another book. Guess what? Nobody bought it. So they put J.K. Rowling's name back on it again. Cash, baby. Cash. That's what it's about.
The Jay Thomas Show.
He's the afternoon guy.
I'm a minor genius.
What is this, huh?
Sirius XM.
Indy.
you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks, and now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my best.
Good God Almighty.
But divine intervention, I reckon
what a massive piece of sentimental shit just floated out of our studios in New York up to the satellite. No wonder aliens don't ever land here. They hear shit like this. God.
Someone likes
Why would you go to this concert? Why would you go to this concert?
You wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't. People do. I wouldn't. But I'll listen to it on the radio, sure.
Why?
Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. Look into your heart and you'll
the words mean nothing.
Listen to the music of the moment. Dance and sing.
If I was sitting on the toilet about to take a dump, I would get up, Garrett, and hold it in to go into the other room and turn this off.
Wow.
What if JT
you know what I mean?
Hold on.
He wouldn't write a piece of shit like this.
What if you're mid-shit, this song comes on, do you then get up and risk, not wiping?
I get a bunch of toilet tissue and I hold it in my hand and go out and turn it off and then come back.
To be fair, this isn't the radio version. This is really slow compared to what they play on the radio.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, this isn't what they played it. This is like acoustic. Yeah. The other one is a little more poppy.
Here we go. Wait, turn this up. This is my favorite. Doody doo doo doo. Float doop dooey doo doo pop doo doo. Doo doo wee wee doo doo. Poo poo. Poo 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 dee dee poo poo. La 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 poo poo wee wee. Hey, Jason, you got any other words? No, I'm just gonna go la 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 woo woo poo poo wee wee. Wee wee poo poo wee wee.
I've been spending way too long checking my tongue in the mirror and bending over.
Checking my tongue in the mirror. What the fuck does that mean?
But my breath fogged up the glass.
What do you have? You have thrush? What are you, nuts? I have a bacteria on my tongue.
Ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons.
God.
Is what we aim to do.
All right, get rid of it. Good God.
That wasn't even smooth, Garrett. Just like, get it off.
No, I don't want it smooth. I want it to be as jarring as listening to it. Go and download this interview with, I'm sure Gian Gomeshi, whatever the fuck his name is, was the guy. I don't know. But, oh my God, he's just so full of shit. So full of shit. I really do like country singers, and rappers. They're just amazingly stupid. And they sing shit. And they wear like a cowboy hat.
I don't know.
They wear like a hat backwards or some shit.
Country. I wouldn't call this country.
He's not country. I said I like country and I like rappers because they're just stupid. And they just write about this stupid fuck. Yeah, I've been in prison. I've been in jail. Yeah.
They don't think they're smarter
really
than everyone else.
Stupid.
No.
Stupid's the right thing to say.
Yeah, stupid. Best athletes, stupid.
Bill
I love when you, what?
Bill Bradley?
He's sad.
Oh.
Ran for president and all that. I actually backed him, went to his thing, and didn't speak to me. I emceed it, everything else. I backed him. I really did. I did. I think I was at Sirius when I was doing it. It was like, 10 you got a show on Sirius?
He still does.
Yeah. And I go there and I was all excited and everything else. And I thought maybe he had chosen me to MC. I don't know how I was chosen. I emceed it. I introduced him. Didn't speak to me.
Was Walt Clyde Frazier there?
Who?
The Knicks? Any Knicks? Like old Knicks?
No, Clyde didn't come by with the big words and
Phil
the ridiculous
Jackson?
outfits. No.
Dave DeBuscher? No.
Phil Jackson was there. Hey.
He was.
Yes, he was.
See?
It was in the park. It was at 40th Street. What's that park over there? 40th
Ryan Park?
Yeah. I am seated. I did a whole thing. I'm waiting for him to come over, say thanks. You know, you were funny, whatever the deal was. Nothing.
Did you get paid at least?
No.
Wow.
I thought he would be kind of a cool, guy to run for president. He was kind of interesting,
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I mentioned that football practice had started, and, they're announcing all sorts of things. One really weird thing happened is Tony Dungy, whose son, sadly, a few years back, killed himself. And Tony's very religious, and Tony has helped quite a few athletes overcome some of their problems and all that, but he's very, very, very religious, right? And he made a comment that he wouldn't have drafted Michael Sams, the gay football player from Missouri. And then he said, I wouldn't have done it because it would have been a mess to deal with.
A distraction, right?
He had just, prior to that, received an award from an anti-gay marriage Christian family group. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, bring that up. Bring that up. And so I like Tony Dungy, and I think seemingly an honorable guy, but I think he lied. I think he's full of shit. I think he doesn't approve of gays. And this is my opinion. And I'm very disappointed. I mean, how do you get that award and then you say you wouldn't draft the guy because it would be a distraction? What, a person's life? He's not an alcoholic, He's not a guy that drives drunk and kills people. He doesn't take steroids. You accepted all those people on your teams,
But,
as long as,
like Tim Tebow came to the Jets and he didn't play at all. He was bad. And most likely Michael Sams won't play, or maybe special teams. He's not that good. And it was a big distraction to the team the whole year.
You're wrong about Michael Sams. Excuse me a second. He was the player of the year. He was the Southeastern Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Are you nuts?
With his 4.9 40, where other guys are running 4.5 40s. He's not.
Okay, maybe he's a little slow. He will definitely. If the guy from Notre Dame who had the fake girlfriend, who was what an idiot he is, if he started for the San Diego Chargers, Michael Sams is a real in the Southeastern Conference, the toughest defenses in the United States for a league. Are you crazy?
He's a seventh-round draft pick. What, 5% of those?
Because of the gay thing. The gay thing caused that. God.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone would care that much if he was that good.
I'm betting you right now. I'm betting you money right now.
What are we betting?
$100.
That he what? Starts a
plays
game
good.
Plays
good. Plays good.
Wow. I mean, I don't even think he's going to be on him unless there's injuries. He'll get on.
All right, hold on a minute. And I'm going to let you make the decision because I consider you an honorable person. I'm going to let you decide whether you owe me the 100 or I owe you the 100.
All right.
I'll let you watch him. And because I know you to be Christina, he's an honorable person, isn't he?
Yes,
Gary?
very much so.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
I've known you a long time.
It's like the one thing he's got going for him.
I'm from the Southeastern Conference. I watch these teams all the time. They didn't know maybe they did know he was gay, but the players and the coaches voted. You think the coach at LSU or at Mississippi State voted for Michael Sams because he was a gay guy before anybody even knew it? No, they voted because he knocked the shit out of people when they came in his area. I mean, he was voted on, by Nick Saban, at Alabama to be the guy. I mean, really.
I mean, Charlie Ward also won the Heisman Trophy and then didn't even play football because
he was very religious. He was very religious, and he played basketball. He signed with the Knicks.
Because he wasn't good at football. You can win.
He was good at
win the best
football.
award in football and not be good in the NFL.
When Charlie Ward was playing, you weren't even sure they'd start a black quarterback, much less this isn't a sports show, much less a mobile black quarterback.
That's true.
20 years ago, for Christ's sakes. Come on. Stop it. There is a picture that you can find in Associated Press picture of the Dallas Cowboys head coach, Jason Garrett, looking at owner Jerry Jones as he speaks at the State of the Team news conference during the first Cowboys training camp, which is right up the road here in Ventura or in Oxnard, California. And Garrett, I just hope you can find this picture, because this guy has gone 8-8 or something, 2 years in a row or whatever. And Jerry Jones is the reason why the Cowboys aren't going to win a fucking thing. He's no different than, whoever owned the Oakland Raiders would stick his nose into Al Davis and all that. All the other owners, including the owner of the Giants, the owners, the town that owns the Green Bay Packers, the owner of the Redskins, the owner of the New Orleans Saints, all of them, they all say a little something. But the coach is out there, not at the Cowboys. This guy, Jerry Jones, you got to see this picture of this kid looking at him. He sold his fucking soul to be the head coach, and he's looking at the head coach. Because Jerry Jones doesn't want anybody who doesn't let him coach. He really would like to be the coach. Can you find that picture?
I don't know what it looks like at all.
You'll see when you see it. You'll know it.
Like Jerry Jones is blurry and Jason Garrett behind him.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Look. All right. Show that picture to Christina. She knows nothing about it. What do you think the guy that's in focus is thinking, Christina? That's the coach of the Cowboys. He's looking at the owner. What do you think he's thinking? Just look at it.
He
Show
looks
it to
like
her.
he hates him. There's
Thank
just
you.
disdain there.
And you know nothing about it.
I know.
Right?
I haven't been listening to you guys for at least 6 minutes. I have no idea what's even going on right now.
By the way, those of you listening, how'd you like that to be in your life right there? Okay? We're in a major broadcast company worth billions of dollars.
It's
you
a
read
lot
about
of
it in the
sports
newspaper.
talk, man. But then show me a picture. I'm right back in it. He hates this guy. I can see it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Garrett, what do you think? You know what, Garrett? Put that on jthomas.com, and can we put like a yes or no, a voting on the bottom? That'd be cool.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know. Ask Mike, my guy, if you can do that. For those of you that hate liberal, blah, 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 whatever the fuck it is, and all of that, not Fox News, not the Wall Street Journal, not the Post, the New York Times, front page, John Walsh, Democrat, Montana, was appointed by the governor to be the senator for, I don't know what somebody quit or left or whatever, and, pretty much ensured he was going to probably be reelected. He was an Iraq War veteran, keeps his hair cut, just like he was when he was a colonel or whatever the deal was, 50-something years old. This guy, when he was getting his master's degree from the War College, copied word for word out of other people's books and works. Word for word. The same sentences that he wrote in his thesis about Islamists and all of this other stuff appeared on page 6 of a 2002 paper written by 4 scholars at the Carnegie Research Institute. If you're going to do that, you have to say this where you got it from. Significant portions of the language in Mr. Walsh's paper can be found in a 1998 essay by a scholar at the Belfer Center for Science International Affairs at Harvard. He just copied shit. It's crazy. And he was exposed on the front page by the
Front
New York
page.
Times.
Wow.
Almost ensuring that a Republican will win that seat. I'm not joking. He's now disgraced.
Above or below the fold?
No, it runs up and down from top of the page to bottom.
So above the fold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why I read these papers. I mean, I'm not a fucking idiot. I even read the Wall Street Journal and find it saying things that aren't always, right-wing and everything else. I mean, that's such an... And it's not just one time. I mean, you listen to me all the time. I find out all kinds of shit. And I mean, maybe MSNBC doesn't do it. I don't fucking know. But it is kind of weird. That they're all, the left wing. Yeah, fuck that. It's not left. But they do like left wing, people because it's more fun to like them. By the way, I don't know how old this is, but Christina, if this doesn't make you cry, I can't send it to you, but it was sent to me. There's that gorilla, Coco.
Yes.
And they can talk to Coco and everything else. And Coco is this female gorilla that the trainer goes up to and sits with and talks to. It's really scary because you're thinking, these gorillas are dangerous. Mm-hmm. And Coco took care of these kittens. Oh. See if you can find Coco the gorilla, Garrett, reacting to the death of this little kitten whose name was, I think, Ball Ball was the name of the kitten. And Ball Ball was run over.
Oh, jeez. How are you going to make me watch this?
But wait a second. And there's audio. And this may be old. I don't know.
The reason that it stands out in people's memories is because there's an emotional surprise there. There's a giant gorilla with a tiny, tiny, tiny helpless kitten and being gentle and loving toward that kitten.
Coco rhymed a name for her new kitten. She called him All Ball because to her the cat looked like a little ball. Coco adored All Ball, and they spent countless hours playing together. And yet, it was by loving the little tailless kitten that Coco learned one of life's hardest lessons.
This is really
Coco's got big nipples.
One evening, All Ball was tragically killed on a nearby logging road. Coco was heartbroken.
My dad was driving around there that day.
Listen.
I went in right away and I said, Coco, something's happened to your kitty and he won't be here anymore. The cat has died.
He's signing bad, sad, bad.
Yes, terrible. Now listen.
Penny stayed with Coco to comfort her.
Frown, cry, frown.
Yeah, but listen.
And later, privately, Coco expressed her grief.
By herself.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God, it's horrible.
Oh, my God.
I have to tell you.
Baloney.
No, it isn't baloney.
Real tears. Do they cry tears?
No, Garrett.
No, you know what?
Do tears shed from their eyes?
And then the time the sound comes out, it's just a faraway shot of some room that they're in.
You're wrong. Boy, you're dead wrong about this.
That was such a heartstring puller they made up.
It is, but it's true.
Proof that he's dead inside. That's all this is.
Well, the other thing is like, a lot of people are watching this young girl that's the cheerleader killing the lions and elephants and all that. And, I live in this world where there's hunting and all that kind of stuff. It is weird, like my friend Mike DeGree, who passed away a couple of years ago in that helicopter crash. He was, as a kid, he started picking up octopi and stuff, and he found them, in the Delta there around Alabama. And he said, I noticed he never ate seafood. And we live on the ocean, right? And Mike's on the ocean all the time. Wasn't a big seafood guy. And I asked him why, and he goes, I'm down there with them all the time, and there's a life, and I would never eat octopus because they have these mental and emotional capacities that no one can imagine. And I never thought of that either. I looked at it like as a same thing with the dolphins. It is kind of weird. It is. Now, not every one of these animals are like that, but that big giant gorilla sitting with that woman and that little kitten, that is odd. It's almost like there's a human in there. Maybe, Garrett, it was a human in a costume. Maybe. You think? Might be.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Christina, show that to your mom.
Okay.
When you get home.
Mhm.
That's...
Show her that.
Show that to, you know what?
It's not
show that.
Garrett.
Hey,
Why did
show
they
that
show
to
the gorilla crying? Why did they have to just show
It was doing it privately.
They had a camera on it a second before it started making some gorilla sound.
No, they waited later.
He was
they didn't want
signing
to bother.
frown, sad frown.
Yes,
What is wrong with you?
Because he just learns you get a banana if you do that frown, sad frown sign after someone says
All right, you
it's
know
sad.
what?
Oh.
Hey, the bet is off because you're not the honest, good person I thought
I'm
you
going
were.
to take these 3
Bet's
bananas
off.
here that have been sitting here for 4 days because of Hits 1. I'm going
Yeah.
to throw all of them at you. Okay?
Yeah, you're
Proud, sad
probably no. You know what? To win $100, you call the St. Louis Rams and go, Michael Sam's tried to suck my dick. Goodbye. Click like that. Yesterday, an anonymous phone call came in.
That'd be hilarious.
By the way, you like this. I run the 40 in 5.1. He runs it in 4.9. He caught me and made me make love to him. Click. Michael Sam's anonymous phone call came into our practice facility.
So over 10 years, 73% of 6th and 7th rounders started at least one game. 22% started for at least one season.
He was a 7th rounder because of the gay thing, man. Come on.
Earned a Pro Bowl nomination. 2%.
No, but because of the gay thing.
No, it's not. His stats were horrible.
They weren't. You mean at the combine?
Yes.
What does that mean? That's stupidity.
That's what they go on.
Running around. Hey, here's a new one that gets millions of hits. Always the panty liner. Okay. This is 40 million hits. 40 million. And Pantene shampoo.
Mm-hmm.
They are running, not ads. They don't mention the ads. Try and find the Always panty liner. It's called Run Like a Girl.
Panty liner.
Hold on. It's called Run Like a Girl, Garrett. And what it is it's a whole campaign that they ask questions of women so that women know not to act like girls and be, I guess, be more like men. I don't know what the fuck it is. 40 million hits. Almost the same hits as Weird Al Yankovic. And at the end of it, you're supposed to buy a panty liner.
Ew.
Because they've given these girls, can you find it? It's called Run Like a Girl, perhaps. And then Pantene shampoo, Christina, does a thing where women, when they start a conversation in a business atmosphere, they start with, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. They apologize. Do you do that?
I apologize a lot, and I shouldn't. Yes, I do.
Do you wish you didn't?
Yes, I do.
You need to go to the Pantene shampoo site, and you'll be taught not to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to try that. This can't be. It has 3,000 views.
Well, try it.
Run Like a Girl is 3 friends from Langley with a passion for running and intense.
No, this isn't it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, articles are coming up about it, but not a video.
Oh, because I heard it
Like
yesterday.
a Girl video, it's called. Like a Girl.
Yeah. It's about girls losing their self-esteem.
The
And
Daily
when
Beast says that it's gorgeous and empowering.
Here we go.
What does it mean to do something like a girl?
Hold on.
Here we go.
Okay, so I'm going to just give you some actions to do. I just do the first thing that comes to mind. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl.
Here.
She's running like a girl. Silly.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl.
Moving their arms, silly.
Slapping.
Now throw like a girl.
Can't throw.
Aww.
We asked young girls the same question.
My name is Dakota, and I'm 10 years old.
Of
Show
course.
me what it looks like to run like a girl.
Dakota.
Doing the stupid
running
run
like that
again.
because she doesn't have to wear a pad
Throw
yet.
like a girl.
Did a stupid
Fight
throw.
like a girl. What does it
Stupid
mean to
punches.
you when I say run like a
Why
girl?
do you hate women so much?
Run fast as you can.
When did something like a
So
girl
do you think you
become...
just insulted your
I miss
sister?
it.
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
Is like a girl a good thing?
Actually, don't know what it really, if it's a bad thing or a good thing. It sounds like a bad thing.
Undecided,
Sounds like they're
like a
trying to
girl.
humiliate someone.
So when
A girl's
they're in that
confidence
vulnerable
plummets
time
during
between
puberty.
10 and 12, how do you think it affects them when somebody uses like a girl as an insult?
I think it definitely drops their self-confidence and really puts them down because
Always
during
negative,
that time
like a
they're
girl.
already trying to figure themselves out. And when somebody says you hit like a girl, it's like, well, what does that mean? Because
it's weak, it doesn't hurt.
Let
person,
me
it's
hit
kind
you
of like
and
telling
tell
them
me
that
it's like
they're
a girl
weak
or
and they're not as good as.
Louis laughing nervously.
And what advice do you have to young girls who are told they run like a girl, kick like a girl, hit like a girl, swing like a girl?
Keep doing it because it's working. If somebody else says that running like a girl or kicking like a girl or shooting like a girl is something
Is she
that you
part
shouldn't be
of
doing,
talking
that's
like
their
a guy,
problem, because
Garrett?
if you're still scoring and you're still getting to the ball on time and you're still being first, you're doing it right. Doesn't matter what they say.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I kick like a girl and I swim like a girl and I walk like a girl and I wake up in the morning like a girl because I am a girl. And that's not something that I should be ashamed of. So I'm
It's
not
just
ashamed.
worse. Not
That's
ashamed of.
If I asked you to run like a girl now, would you do it differently?
I would run like myself.
Check.
Would you like a chance to redo it?
Everything's super.
Horrible baseball swing. Like they keep showing girls doing the things correctly, but they're doing it completely wrong.
Why can't run like a girl also mean win the race?
Because
Now,
the guy
Christina-
is faster. That's why.
All right, be
idiots.
quiet. Be quiet. Christina.
God, you're such a woman hater.
No,
Is
no.
that not true?
Hold
Why
on.
is
You know
truth
what?
being a hater? That's
All
what-
right, you know what? Let me tell you something. It's about the yelling. I said this earlier. Where can we go now? You've started with the yelling. I said this earlier. Where can we go now, Garrett? You've already taken it to the top.
I win.
No, you don't win.
You know what? You sound like a girl.
It's kind of insulting.
So, Christina,
Yes, Jay.
given the fact that Garrett is having some sort of a
Menstrual cycle.
problem, whatever, there is a group of women that went online after this and said that they have been in business forever, and to get successful in business, they have been forced to act like men, and they were mad at that. So there's like another thing. But it isn't run like a girl. It's that girls don't have the muscle mass and the athletic ability of people with more testosterone, which, by the way,
So you're telling me Serena Williams and her sister.
has more testosterone than you do.
I know, but they are girls.
They are, and they're not gay. They have more
What does
testosterone.
gay have anything to do with it?
Nothing.
Have you said anything about
Nothing.
being gay?
Wait a minute. I have more testosterone than you do. And so the testosterone level has a lot to do with your ability to, fast twitch muscles, whatever you want to call
Nobody's
it.
arguing that boys are faster than girls or girls
Hold
or
on a
boys
minute.
are stronger than girls. That's
Why
not
don't
the
we
argument.
ask, wait a second. Why don't we ask, run like a gay guy? You could do that one. You think I'm kidding you? And that's guys who have probably more estrogen than I have, or than Garrett has. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about the chemistry of it, but so Garrett, you're getting angry about it, but the reality is that, and I've worked for women my entire life. In Hollywood, in radio, my first radio owner was a woman. I've worked for tough women. I've worked for general managers who did sexually inappropriate things toward me and stuff. And I have never thought of them differently than a man who was a boss. And I mean that. I don't even know that I had to be taught that.
But that has nothing
Now,
to do with the ad.
But in private, I would say if you're a jerk off as a woman or a jerk off as a guy, I would say whatever insults you say in private. That whatever, whether you were a woman or a man, if I didn't like you. Or in private, I would compliment you as a woman or a man. That's what's so weird. But I guess there are guys out there. You're always reading about these people at the fire station or the police department or whatever that say these weird fucking things about women and to women. And it's like, who the fuck are those? Gary, you work around men and women all day long. Oh, you've been there like 10 fucking years. Do you hear like all these, insults about women and shit on a daily basis over there? I don't know.
Not insults,
I don't.
No. I see a bunch of sexual harassment or creepiness.
Yeah, there's way more sexual harassment than anything else.
Well, what sort of sexual harassment are you talking
And
about?
then
That's a nice dress you're wearing. Like, like out of nowhere, to someone you don't even know.
That's not sexual harassment.
It is.
It is
the way they
technically.
say it, yes.
Yeah, it is.
You're walking in front of them, and there's some guy 10 feet behind you that's 40 years older than you. Oh, that's a cool dress you got on. It's like, really?
So you know what? If I was running a company, and I know that, you want to get rid of a lot of salaries, you make more money, I would go through the building, and I would hear that, and I would eliminate that person right there. What I would do is I wouldn't do it to one person because it would make the other ones go undercover. I would write it down, I would document it, and I would do it until I got like close to $1 million in salary back, Garrett. And then I'd let go that 800 people.
The thing with this ad, though, like if you said, I care like a woman, no one would be offended by that because that's a good positive stereotype. So it's either you have to hate all stereotypes.
Is it that positive, or is it you just saying that we're an emotional wrecks?
No, that
it doesn't
you're
have to be a positive.
Like women are better people to raise a child. A woman or a man, a woman's going to win that out. But you could bring that up. That's fine. You could say that.
Not
because
so
that's
much
a positive
anymore
stereotype.
because we're all like very sensitive as a nation, and everybody has to have the same equal rights.
But if I had 100 girls line up and throw a ball, 95 of them would throw like a girl, and we all know what that means. So stop pretending that that real girls can really throw and really run. They can't. They're not.
But they can.
Bullshit. Yes, they can. What are you talking about? We need to have competitions right now.
Women.
Garrett,
I'm yelling.
You
now.
and
I have to calm down.
Garrett, you and I could not maintain, even in our 20s, if we met a woman that played college sports, we would have trouble staying with her.
0.5% of women that do that, yes. But the generalization, I said, if you got 100 women random, and here's a baseball, it would all look like me throwing my left hand. Maybe 5 of them would.
But it's a caricature of what women might
Wait a
look
second.
like.
Because
that's how they all look like.
Flailing, I don't
Wait a
run
second.
And flail
What
my
about
arms.
guys,
I
Garrett?
flail my arms when I'm in heels because I can't do it, but I can run.
Yeah, I think you are a man. You're kind of mannish.
I would say 55 of the guys could throw a baseball like a baseball.
You're the only one
should
left.
be thrown.
Really?
I could throw a baseball. I could definitely throw a football, and I can make it
But
spin.
you would throw it like a girl.
I could make it spin.
But you would throw it like a girl, though.
How would I throw it like a girl? Look at
It
my
would be all
Heisman. Look at
herky-jerky
it. No,
and
look at my Heisman. It's awesome. Look.
They don't throw it the Heisman.
What is
They
that?
carry
You're
it
posing
ball.
like a Heisman?
Yeah, I look official.
Really? The last guy that did that just declared bankruptcy about a week ago.
I mean, it's just a football pose, whatever.
Right. Okay.
You ever see?
I just thought I'd bring it up. You know what? The show is.
I bet you I could throw the ball better
thought-provoking.
than Baba Booey over the first plate. How about that?
There you go.
Totally.
Hey, how about this, Garrett?
Thank you.
Suppose they asked
Or
those
50
girls or
Cent.
anybody that knew who he was,
Men.
throw like Baba Booey. Would always panty liners be running that one? No. Right? Who was the other guy? Who was the rapper that couldn't throw? 50 Cent. Ask any black kid to throw like 50 Cent, and they would make terrible fun of him. Would that be a put down of 50 Cent that would be on the internet, and people would be going, "That's really terrible"?
No. It would be a put down of 50 Cent, but no, everyone would think it's funny.
By the way, if you do have a daughter and she is very athletic and seems to have a lot of testosterone, you must name her either Dakota, Cheyenne, or Chuck.
Huh.
Those are the names.
Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Do you do a test as they're born?
You'll know.
You'll see it.
When I was
on the face.
when I was living in this suburban neighborhood and the kids were all playing and all, I used to on the weekends throw the football to whoever wanted to throw, and I'd go out to the big playground, and my youngest hated it. He didn't want to go, and then my middle guy could not catch the ball, not good at it. He was a lineman, and he can throw the shit out of it, you know where it's going. But all the kids in the neighborhood would come. We'd all throw, boys and girls. And this is like 15, 16 years ago, right? And it's when all the world was really changing, when this new group of millennials, whatever you want to call them, was coming into being. And this one girl in our neighborhood, Jane, there's not a pass I couldn't throw to her at any velocity, at any depth, that she couldn't reach out and get. She was unfucking believable. And an adorable girl. Unbelievable. She's now All-American at whatever college or whatever, and a lesbian. And I just recently opened the paper, and there she was, spiking something or shooting something, and won every fucking award, and is just this incredible athlete. And I happen to know that she's a lesbian. And I looked at that and I'm thinking, that's got to be testosterone. It's got to be. And that's how I mean, maybe I'm wrong about it, and then my other son, who doesn't like to run and doesn't look athletic when he runs, works out. He was actually a pretty good boxer and stuff like that. He doesn't seem like he has too much estrogen, is what I'm saying. So I'm maybe wrong about that, but not all guys who are testosterone fueled are any good at sports and can't move. And I think there are more guys, Garrett, that aren't good at sports than are good. Do you agree with that?
Oh, obviously.
Obviously.
But the percentage of women that aren't good at sports is way higher than the percentage of guys that aren't good at sports.
But when you go to a park with a bunch of guys and their girlfriends, I'm always surprised at the girls who are better than they thought they were because they never played sports. And you play softball or you play frisbee or whatever you play, and the girls are right in there with the guys. They're different, but they're right in there with them, right or wrong. You probably haven't done this in years. What?
Probably the same, but worse.
Yeah, but not as bad as they thought they were going to be, and their enthusiasm makes up for maybe their lack of skill sometimes.
Yes,
hence,
Jay.
I think Christina's like that.
All about you today, Jay.
Is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the thing is what we have to be careful with is girls, you've just decided, and there's another one where girls say, I'm sorry all the time in a meeting.
I hate that.
There's another one. How do you do that exactly?
I mean, I just apologize for shit that doesn't need to be apologized for.
Like what? You've never done that to me.
Oh. I'm talking about in, my personal life and stuff. Like, I'll just be like, oh, I'm sorry. And they'll be like, why are you apologizing? You don't have to. There's nothing to be sorry for. But it's more
when
like
you
a
get home
people-pleaser
tonight,
kind of thing.
ask this new boyfriend of yours, hey, why don't you run like a girl? See what he does.
Okay. You want me to tape him doing it?
If girls could throw just as well as guys, how is there not one female pitcher in baseball?
That's not the issue. Not throwing
They're
just
never going to have the
well
muscle
as.
fiber of a man.
It's not just as well as. God. That's not the point.
If they're so good, you don't even have to hit or field in baseball. You just stand on the mound and
boys
throw.
And girls, men and women,
I am
going to
give you...
No, they're saying they're the same.
No, they're talking about the
stereotype
of throw like a girl or like a girl.
They're not going to say
because
they're the
girls
same.
are worse at throwing.
But
That's
it's
why
a caricature of the most
terrible.
terrible.
No, it's not a caricature. Yeah. 90% of girls do throw like that.
Oh, my goodness. 90%?
I'm just making it up, but way more than 50% of girls.
90% of men are no good at throwing. I mean, I've been throwing my whole life.
Wrong. At least
you
over
are crazy.
50% of guys can throw a baseball and have a catch.
They can't. You're wrong.
Listen, just because you
sports teams are only made up of a few percent of the male population. At a school of 1,000 kids, maybe 100 guys play sports.
I've probably had a catch with 200 people in my life. Maybe three of those guys threw like a girl. Everyone else knew how to throw a baseball. Now, if I had a catch with like 10 girls in my life, 9 of them threw like I did with my left hand. It's just
Where did you go to high school? Did you go to John Heisman High? Is that where you went? John Heisman High School?
I mean, people just admit guys and girls are different. Girls aren't that into athletics.
And women have pitched. Women have done things. Those softball women, they struck out every fucking pro. Every one of them.
That one girl did it once when it was kind of popular, when she was popular for a day.
Bullshit. She struck them all out.
Yeah. Because they never played softball before. She pitched from 30 feet away.
You know what you are? You're a
thing.
male apologist.
I'm just pointing out the obvious facts. That's the problem. Everyone's not the same. Men and women are completely different. That's why they're men and women.
I agree. I know we're different. But what those things are saying is that when you show somebody that they're spastic, it doesn't help. But here's the funny part. When you say run like a girl, I bet you, Christina, you wouldn't have just run normally. You would have flailed your arms.
I would have flailed my arms because that's the stereotype and that's what they were asking for.
But that's how women run, is what Garrett's saying.
But that's the term like a girl, we are conditioned to know that it's like a big joke. You know what I mean? Like, we know what it's supposed to look like, hence the video.
And is it time to get over the joke? Is that what that's saying? Is that what the ad is saying?
Well, yeah, they're saying that, you shouldn't have to, it's not the truth. If they said run like Christina, then I'm like the wind. Out. Looking good, too.
Now, by the way, this woman that's written the book, Lean In or whatever the fuck it is, and these women that are these CEOs of all these corporations and stuff, and I put them in this. Every time I hear these women speak, they seem like the biggest group of fucking ball busters that I've ever in my life had the misfortune of listening to. And the same thing with Hillary fucking Clinton, and the same thing. But yet when I hear the CEOs of companies speak, I feel like they're assholes also. Bezos and, all of them. So what's weird is that when they get to that level, they have fucked a ton of fucking people to get there. And they have played every fucking game you can play to get there. It's not that they're not smart, and it's not that they're not, capable and everything else. But the fact that I can't say that about a woman CEO makes me mad. That's what pisses me off. When there's true equality, I'll be able to say Jeff Bezos is an asshole, and so is Mara, whatever the fuck her name is at GM, or the woman that runs, Hewlett Packard or whatever, or not. I could say she's great. It's like when I had Judith Regan in, and I said, you act kind of dykish like a lot of women who run companies. And she went fucking berserk. Remember that? That controversy went on.
Yeah.
But she does. She acts
dykish. What is
mannish, dykish, whatever. Even to this day, if she sees me in the hall or mentions my name, it always has that thing to it. That was the truth.
Same stereotype that was given to Murphy Brown, Candace Bergen. She was a powerful woman.
Right.
They put her in a power suit. Everybody's like, she's such a man.
If Kevin Meaney wasn't gay, if he wasn't gay, and he never came out of the closet, but he really wasn't gay, we would always say that Kevin acted gay. Always. So it's like you're not allowed to do that. And that's what the ad means, I guess. I don't fucking know. Will it help? I guess it'll help. Garrett, you don't think it'll help?
It'll help as much as Ben Bossy helped.
What?
That was a colossal dud.
You can't say bossy women. You can't say a woman's bossy.
ban bossy.
For a week, and then everyone forgot about it.
Oh. This is the same kind of campaign that Dove did with, show your true self and don't be
let me stop
photoshopped.
everybody.
It's all about women's encouragement.
Let me stop everybody for one moment. I said this earlier about writers, about the people at the television show, Married at First Sight, about everybody. There was a big meeting at Always Pantyhose and Pantene shampoo, and it's about how much fucking shampoo and how many panty liners can we get little girls to bleed in. That's what it was about. Period. And I didn't mean to say period, but I know pun intended. But I meant and conditioner. I didn't mean to say that either. Unconditionally, period. Kyle of Jacksonville, Florida, where I graduated from Jacksonville University, and I'm a fighting dolphin. Welcome, Kyle.
Hey.
Did you not know I graduated from JU?
I did not know that. I actually work.
I'm also a distinguished graduate from JU, and I have the plaques and the mugs and the bowls. Artist Gilmore and I were inducted together as and my friend Frank Pace, we were like the students of the decade or something in the 90s. Yeah. So,
well,
they don't have a picture of me anywhere around the town.
They got it.
Not yet. Not yet.
Do you know the Alhambra Dinner Theater?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's where I started as an actor.
No kidding.
Yeah, at the dinner theater. That's true. Yeah.
Well, it's good to know. I'll have to. I haven't been there much, so I'll have to check it out.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, Garrett, first time listening to y'all, I really am enjoying it so far.
Wait a second. You've never listened before today?
No.
What a fucking day to tune in. Wow.
You should have tuned in yesterday. That would have been quite the day.
Yeah, so go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask Garrett whether, he gave that example about you line up the 10 boys or 10 girls or whatever it was. I would like to see if you lined up 10 boys who had never thrown a baseball before in their lives versus 10 girls who have thrown a baseball every day, who would throw better.
Obviously, that's a stupid example. The whole point is 10 random people.
Hey, Kyle, welcome to the show. Hey, Kyle, you're stupid. Welcome to the show.
If we got 10 WNBA basketball players and 10 2-year-old boys that never touched a basketball, who would shoot the ball better?
Well,
let's embrace our new listener, Kyle. Hey, stupid, welcome to the show.
My point being,
Go ahead,
that
Go ahead.
20 years ago, perhaps little girls weren't going out and throwing a baseball, throwing a softball, throwing a football.
That's
but I
right.
think kind of the point of that ad is now that we've kind of thrown that idea about women can't do things that men can because they have testosterone, which I disagree with, but it's a matter.
Why do you? Well, wait a minute. Well, what's the explanation of somebody? I mean, men have been the hunters, and they needed a different genetic setup so they could kill the beast and all that stuff. I mean, come on. And then women were, more of the gatherers.
And the childbearers.
And so they were the more social and less muscular, even though they were probably tougher and shit many, thousands of years ago. But I mean, Kyle, you can't throw genetics and DNA that was needed for the prehistoric times.
Oh, no.
Can't throw that out.
I think that it's overemphasized because I think you can find guys who have lots of testosterone that aren't that athletically inclined or physically inclined, and you can find women who are way more athletically and physically inclined. I'm not quite.
I'm going to guess you're 27 years old.
Damn.
Right? Yeah. And I'll tell you what's great about being 27. You're the group that I was talking about with my kids, and it started 15 to 20 years ago, and it worked. And Garrett is older than you by 5 or 6 years, and so it worked. And you are much more evolved and have a better sense of who women are and their place in the world. And so it worked, and that's when it all started. What?
A biased look at what women are, and I think that everyone.
Hey, Kyle, welcome to the show. You're a biased, stupid asshole. So welcome to the show.
The people are being
glad to have you.
No person's a person.
Hope you listen tomorrow, Kyle. Hey, Kyle, you want to buy a T-shirt that says the Jay Thomas Show with Garrett on it?
As long as it says I'm an asshole on it, we'll be good.
But he was raised in some sort of weird fucking time and by weird parents, and he didn't learn the shit that you're learning, and congratulations.
Thank God.
You are more not thank God. And now here's the other one. It's okay to run like a girl. But it's also okay not to be able to throw the ball. But I agree with Kyle. I believe many more girls could be taught to throw the ball better if they weren't thought of not being able to from birth. Garrett?
They don't want to. You put a girl and a boy in a room, the boy picks up the sword, the girl picks up the doll.
They're taught that, though, from an early age.
Hey, Kyle, the boy picks up the sword, the girl picks up the doll.
That's how it works out most of the time.
That's
Hey,
because
Kyle.
girls are conditioned to like
without
those
any
things.
conditioning. You just put a girl in the room, she picks up the doll, the boy picks up the
What
sword.
age?
2 years old.
They already know by that time that what's a girl thing.
Kyle, the show isn't like this
hypothetical.
every day. This isn't how the show goes.
Garrett, you are incorrect.
Generally, I run the show, and
People
I'm
are
fantastic.
not all the
And
same.
these two
The
assholes
sexes are
not
totally
usually.
different.
That-
There's a
we
whole
know
different
that.
chromosome.
Well,
Kyle,
The
this
thing
is
is
awful what
different.
you're hearing. I'm very embarrassed right now. If you're a first-time listener.
Then why does everyone have to keep saying no? Girls do throw the same. as
Kyle, I
guys.
didn't go to
Nobody's saying
Jacksonville.
that
My name's not Jay Thomas. I'm not a part of this.
Okay.
All right. Kyle, see you later, pal.
Thank you.
Oh.
Appreciate it.
Music
Let's go to
my
Aaron
ears.
What are they going to
of
say? Girls are
Wisconsin.
as funny as guys next.
Aaron, have you ever been called? Aaron on line 5.
Oh my
Aaron,
God, I can't even.
on line 5. Aaron, Garrett, press a button for me,
Garrett.
please. Thank you. Aaron, have you ever been called bossy? Are you bossy?
I have been called bossy, and I take it, I love the word bossy. I love being called bossy. I am the
Yeah.
boss. And guess
Yeah,
what?
baby.
I have to be
What?
to get fuckers to do what I want them to do.
Yeah.
You could, hey, Aaron, you can boss me. I would wear panty liners.
I would
for
love
you if you
nothing
wanted.
more, Jay. I'd love nothing more.
I would, and you know what? I would wash my hair with Pantene, wear a panty liner, and run like a girl if you would boss me around. I would like that.
I actually think the bossy campaign makes females be more sensitive. Oh, don't call me bossy, but call me
All
a
right.
bitch. And
Yeah.
come on. Bullshit.
I love it. See you later. All right.
Bye.
Bye.